The thoughts, views, and opinions are that of my own. I'm not a salesman. I cannot be bought. This is all entertainment. Let's go.
The cipher. It's the new cipher.
Peace, peace, peace. Mic check. 1 2 1 2. This is your host EQ, and welcome to the cipher. Straight out of Pretty Girl County, Maryland, aka PG County, Maryland. Let's go. Peace. What it do? What it do? Yeah, man, I'm in all black again today, man. Because, you know, that's the type of energy I'm on. Inspired by Kendrick Lamar, bro. We hitting that real. This is episode number 39 of the Cypher. 39 lives. Yesterday was 38. We're going to get into it. We're going to talk about a lot of things that is question and answer. We're going to get into all the heat and answer all the questions. Yeah. But before we do, you know, I got to get hydrated. Hey, my guy in the chat, I'm going to talk my shit and then you can come on later. But right now, don't come into the chat and I'm never going to let you on without your camera on. You wasting your time. If you come on again in the studio without your camera on, I'm going to boot you. And when I say boot you, ain't going to be able to join back on. Don't do it again. That was me announcing it. I'm telling you, turn your camera on. Don't come back till you do. Yeah. I purposely today, you know, gotta have your water. I purposely today only put so subscribers can show love. I'm gonna be answering questions, so answer your questions you had yesterday for me. Now, understand, people who send super chats will be recognized before everybody else because those are gonna stand out. EQ in the chat center today, Intent said drop Boise. Good look, my brother, appreciate the super chat.
The cipher. It's the new cipher.
Yeah. If you ain't here, don't forget to hit the bartender, hit the like button, because we bringing heat. I'm going with McAllen, 12. Yeah, I'm on that type of time. I'm going for the brown. The brown liquor. See, I got the shades on, hater blocker. We're going to address so many things. I'm not going to have a filter at all. Because I've been seeing a lot and, well, a lot of things. We're going to go ahead and get into it.
The cipher.
So I got a couple of notes, a couple of things I want to address. 84 people in the chat. Put your center day in the chat. We're going to start off a little positive. Y'all already know what it is. Yeah, man. Go ahead and take my cutlery and grosses off. Put my glasses on so I can actually see out here. Put the Tom 44s on. Yeah, let's go.
The cipher. It's the new cipher.
We doing the intro. If you got questions, just hold off. I'm not looking at them right now. We vibing, bro. We vibing. Hold the questions. Hold off. We'll get to it. We gonna get into it. I remember it was a question from yesterday that I already have up, so we gonna talk about that comparison. But let me do my thing. I'll tell you when to do the questions, because right now I'm not paying attention to really what y'all are typing on the dot. But we gonna go ahead and get into this type of energy I'm on. Yeah, we getting into it. Appreciate you. Peace, and more peace. It is a vibe. Today is episode number 39 of the Cypher. Today's episode is a question and answer. It's going to be, the nonsense of FragCon. Grievances and nonsense. That's what I'm going to call this video today. Grievances and nonsense. We're going to cover it all. If you got grievances, hit to it. Again, if you're leaving comments down below, because I'm going to be in my monologue looking at the camera. So I don't have another TV where I can see everything live behind me. So when I'm looking at the comments, I'm looking down. Imagine me doing the whole video doing this. That would look crazy on the playback. So I got to look at my camera, which means I can't see the comments. So I'm kind of scanning, but super chats will get my attention. I'm not begging for them, but I'm saying super chats today. Oh, guaranteed those super chats will be addressed just because, well, there's a super chat right there, stopping everything I'm doing to answer super chats. Boadicea the Victorious Energizer. I just want to say, don't stop, keep bringing the heat. Gotta run, peace. Appreciate you stopping through for the super chat. Lion Pride did the super sticker. Appreciate the $5 super chat. Again, those super chats stand out in the list of things that garner my attention. So again, today is episode number 39 of the Cypher. 39 lives I've done so far. And we gonna go ahead and just go ahead and get to it all the way, get to it. So before we start, let me go through what I do today, which is we're gonna pay the bills. Paying the bills to me is me going through my scent of the day today. So my scent of today, if you followed me on IG, you probably already know, or if you're in the group, today's scent of the day, we talking about compliments, right? Another 13, layered with Thomas Komala, number 4. Another 13, what is it? It's basically, both of these are kind of like a musky molecule fragrance type, but with another 13, you get some, I believe, some pears, some fruits, but really it's a lot of like isoe super, ambroxan, woods, and musk, kind of combining into a sexy sillage type of fragrance that you will go nose blind to. People will compliment you, but you won't smell yourself. With this is like a really amped up version of Baccarat Rouge 540. Extremely amped up version of that. And it has a little bit of citruses and fruits as well. Again, another fragrance you're gonna go blind to, and this is beast mode. Layer or 2, compliments crazy. So I like fragrances like this when it's really hot. Today was 90 degrees Fahrenheit. Excuse me, kind of humid. So when it's something sticky like that, I'm rather gonna go citrus, or I'm gonna go with a minimalistic fragrance. Got a super chat. Again, super chats get addressed. Let me see. Showing love for creating the realest sector in Fragcom. Appreciate the super chat. Again, people, super chats will get my attention. So before we start, we're gonna get into my disclaimer. First disclaimer, because I know it's gonna happen. Check this out. Today, I purposely put that you had to be a subscriber on my channel for at least 2 days to ask me questions and compliment me. You know why I did that and didn't open wide open? Because a lot of y'all say a lot of things behind the keyboard. Now, even on video, there's no threat of violence, so that's not the kind of tough guy talk I'm talking, but at least you gotta put your face on camera. Show your whereabouts, what you looking like if you're gonna really be talking crazy. Or we can have a conversation, but we're both going to be on camera. So if you're not subscribed to me and you think you're going to troll me, you got to get on camera. So before people complain, I'm telling you what I'm going to do. Over and you go into the comment section and you start talking crazy. One, I'm not even going to comment to your comment because you had a chance to get on camera. I'm not going to comment to your comment. What I'm going to do is delete the comment and block you from commenting because you had your opportunity. Everybody here in 2024 has a smartphone. A smartphone has a camera. If you click the link that's pinned to the top of the section, it will take you to StreamYard, which will allow you to get on camera. You turn your camera on, even if you got to talk to me like this, you can do it. Nothing's stopping you. So if you got something to say and you're not subscribed or you want to troll me, at least come on camera and troll me. Let's make it entertaining. If you want to troll me, do that, but at least come on camera and let's make it entertaining. Let me see, a super chat came. Salute to EQ chats. Precious Oud, Mancera Precious Oud. I own that. I believe that's a boozy tiramisu fragrance with a little bit of leather. I believe that's what it is. 192 people in the chat, almost 200. So I'm telling you, before people go into groups, before you go into blogs or anything and complain, I'm going to delete your comment and block you because you didn't even have the simple courage. Again, bro, we're on two sides of the universe. You're not in front of me literally. You just got to turn on your camera and talk if that's what you want to do. To not do that is just kind of cowardice. So if you're going to troll me, at least troll me on YouTube on camera so we can make it entertaining. At least do that. At least do that. So after that, anybody that's waiting in the background, if your camera isn't on in the waiting area, I'm never going to put you on. See, what you think is when you hit the link, it's going to automatically pop you up on the screen. No, I see you in the background. Donovan Morris, you're in the background. You've done this several times. You have to turn your camera on. I can't see your camera without your camera on. But right now, let me do my spiel. I will say when you should be able to come on, because I'm gonna kick you out again because I just don't want you waiting there forever unless that's something you just want to do. But hold fast because I'm not bringing anybody on right now at the moment. I'm gonna get through a few things. It's probably gonna be about 30 minutes, and then we'll get into it. Let's go over another few things. Filter, I'm going to say names and I'm going to delete comments. Other than that, we're just going to go ahead and get to it. So a few things I want to address. Let me pull up my phone because I saved these comments. On my last video, there was a few comments that I want to literally address. So a person who I don't believe, appreciate you, my guy, Ross, for the super chat. Nothing but love for you too, my guy. Nothing but love for you. Christian Maddox, in my last video, he said, and I'm going to dissect this, right? I don't think he subscribed to me because he seems like he's new here, right? You want people to mention you when you recommend a fragrance. Let's stop there. I don't give a, bro, I don't give a about this internet shit. Bro, that's tongue in cheek. I think y'all take everything in life too serious. When I said I'm better than everybody and all that stuff, you do know, like, I have Ross's number. He knows what it is. Dedrick knows what it is. It's tongue in cheek. Sent My Style knows what it is from the area. Bowtie, when I said his name, his wife was in the comments. It wasn't no real beef. Big Beard, I got his number. We talk. So we'll start there. But to say that I really care, that's bro, I don't give a if people, you mention it does nothing for me. That's tongue in cheek. But we'll continue. I've seen so many people do, especially small channels I watch. Okay, well, they show love. That's fine. But when you mention Blue Talisman, you didn't tell the truth. Okay, let's get to it. You seen people talking about it and didn't get that from yourself. Let's stop there. You got to be new here. So I'll break a few things down. I live in the DC metropolitan region. And I'm going to say this with all my chest. Outside of a few fragrances, it ain't you can recommend me that I ain't already known about. Especially Ex Nihilo, which we have a boutique down the street. All this is 25 minutes down the street. I gave love the first time I heard about this house personally. A lot of people might have reviewed it. I don't watch a lot of people. So let's start there. Big Beard Business about a year ago, about January, when we did our verse since, talked about Fleur Narcarty. I wasn't hip to the house because to me, my idea of the house was a lot of feminine fragrance. I wasn't hip. And at that time, prior to our battle, they wasn't in our Neiman's. Around January, February, they launched in my Neiman's, which is 25 minutes down the road from me. And I talked about it. Matter of fact, I called Big Beard Business. I called him. Like, bro, I think I might text him. Was like, bro, you wasn't lying. This is the truth. God dang. He laughed at me and we talked for a little while through text and then we moved on. But he ain't the first, but yeah. So after that, I smelt the whole house. I got I don't drop videos every day. I don't drop enough videos. So if you think that you know about I got fragrances I've never talked about. I own about 6 Ex Nihilo fragrances. I haven't even talked about them on video at least. Now my old Instagram is deleted, and it was deleted at 9K because Instagram algorithm saying, man, whatever. I don't want to get into that. I did a video on my new Instagram page, but I haven't done a video on any of those fragrances. I got fragrances back here, probably at least 20 I never talked about. How many outside of Faith in Blue Sapphire, how many Boadicea fragrances you ever heard me talk about in general? Maybe Ardent, Valiant, Azrak, I guess yesterday. I got Legend. I haven't talked about it. Green Sapphire, I rarely talked about. I talked about Carbon. I got Almas. Bro, I got probably 25, 30 fragrances I've never talked about. I got a few that I not only never talked about them on video, but never talked about them on IG. I don't talk about everything. So that's one. It ain't a fragrance somebody can put me on to, especially when it comes to Ex Nihilo. Besides me following them on IG, I know when things coming out. Besides me having a internet relationship with their distributor, their U.S. distributor, Michelle, who's from the DMV area, ain't nobody on YouTube gonna put me on to that. Just because I don't own a bottle, if you've been around here for a while, I don't talk about things I don't own. Generally speaking, I won't discuss things I don't own. And I can smell something, I still won't own it. I'm not pressed to have everything that comes out new. I'm not pressed. Yes, a lot of people talk about Blue Talisman. I've been knew about that. One of the first people to ever talk about it was Scent My Style. Let's go down the list. Scent My Style, you in here, you can second guess it. You can come on here and show love. I mean, go ahead and put it on here. I talked about Fleur Narcotique, Scent My Style. He's been following me. Rock. He was like, man, I never really knew about Ex Nihilo. Let me go check it out. He went there, made connections, did whatever he did. He got in with the distributor. He was the first one because they sent him a bottle of this. He was the first person I seen really talk about it. Long before Chad Ocho Cinco talked about it. And bro, he was talking about this, I think, back in August when it first came out. August of 23 last year. But he still didn't put me on. I got a Neiman's. I can drive down there. I can smell it. I'm not in a rush to go down. So, so ain't nobody put me on, bro. Just because everybody talking about it don't mean they put me on. So let me continue. I didn't people talking about it, and you didn't get that from yourself. Even if it's doubt, if a sales rep sent it to you, you saw tons of people before it ever happened, and it didn't happen. I don't watch a lot of people. I watch people I rock with, but I don't. Most of my feed is financials and exotic cars. Most of the time, I'm looking at financial videos. I'm gonna keep it a buck with you. But I will support the guys who supported me show. I'm gonna say a couple of names. Scent My Styles, I'm gonna always watch. My guys, Callie's Groom Room when he's doing videos. TLTG, Justin, Bowtie, Beard. Like, Beard talks about a lot of designer fragrance. I'm not remotely interested in buying that. A lot of people I watch, I'm Dedrick. I'm watching, I'm driving down the road. I don't always comment, but I tap in and at least hit a like button. Bro Sense got a small channel. 90% of anything 99% of anything he's talking about, I'm not remotely interested in buying, but he shows love to everybody's channel. I'll watch him just to get them reviews, and I'll hit a like button and keep it moving. Can I comment on everybody? Hey, bro, good look, bro. That's a lot of time. I don't even be on social media like that. When I'm on IG, I post, I get the hell off IG. I don't even be on social media like that. I post what I post, and I disappear. Unless I get alerts because somebody commented on what I post, generally speaking, I'm not scrolling social media. So let's get on that. Practice what you preach. Again, tongue in cheek. I already addressed that. Because if you had it first, me having it first don't mean you hit me onto it. I wasn't the first one to have a full bottle of 1907. I was hip when, why? Because I'm in the Boadicea group. They talk about everything that comes out. I was hip when it came out. Just because I'm not pressed to run and go, it's a $700 fragrance. I'm not pressed to go get anything. I'm not pressed to buy any fragrance just because it's new. If you don't know that, that's because you're new here. You don't know that about me. I'm not pressed. I see, Scent My Style. Facts. You made me aware Ex Nihilo before I went to Neiman Marcus. Respect. Again, I don't need that, but I just wanted to put that out there because I'm going to deal with facts if somebody, talking crazy to me. Because if you had best believe you would have made it known if I had, bro, it's ex nihilo. So I guess he said that because I talked about La Cordée. Now, again, I'm in the DMV area. I got a Le Labo store. I got Neiman's, Saks, Bloomingdale's. I got Macy's. I got a few boutiques that sell niche fragrances like Thou Mean, Spirit of Dubai. I haven't even talked about the Spirit of Dubai line. I own every fragrance from them. Every one minus 2, because I'm not remotely interested in trying those 2. Let me see. Family, what's your favorite and another 13 layering combination? Layer another 13 with anything. It don't really matter. It's like layering Molecule 01. It's no favorite. Just put it on with anything. A citrus, non-citrus, a vanilla fragrance. It doesn't matter. Just layer it. It's a minimalistic fragrance. Wear it by yourself or layer it. You can never go wrong with it. Oud, rose oud, layer rose oud. It doesn't matter. Just wear it. But back to this guy, and then we're gonna be end of it. He's probably talking about when I said La Cordée, because I was one of the first ones. Now, let's talk about a couple things. When it comes to Moncler, nobody talks about. I got a Moncler boutique in the store. That's why in 2023, summer 2023, when this dropped, I was at the Moncler boutique. So when I put this on my IG, nobody was talking about it, because this is the kind of house that people talk about at all. They don't give out free bottles, and nobody really talks about Moncler, period. So yes, when I say I'm the first one talking about it, that's facts, not fiction. Are there a few other people who I'm not following, who could have said something? Yeah. Do they have the following and influence that I have? No, maybe not. I don't know. I didn't see them. They ain't come across it. But I also know that the majority of people using my Joma Shop link or got hip will admit they got it because I said so. Am I the first person to talk about Faith? No. But if you bought Faith because I've been talking about it, put Faith in the chat. It's very few fragrances you're gonna put me onto, but I show love all the time. Everybody can say that. My guy, what's my guy? Kuba was one of the first talking about tuxedo on YouTube that got the hype going. Is that a fact or fiction? Is he the first person to ever smell it? Maybe not. Probably not. But to get the buzz going, yeah. Vanille Havane, I've talked about this. My guy, veteran with a purple heart that's on IG, put me onto this. I spoke about it 1,000,000 times, but he's not on YouTube. I was the first to talk about it on YouTube before they started sending out bottles and it got hype in groups, and then everybody started talking about it. Yes, that's a fact. That's a fact. I show love. Kute. I've talked about the story. Kute. I didn't know about this. The owner from Beverly Hills Perfumery put me onto this. I've spoken about this, bro. What the fuck is we talking about? So that's it. That's all I'm gonna address from you, because everything you typed was utter nonsense. So I'm gonna get that out the way and address it. There was another question. Why do I maximize the AdSense waiting for ages, bro? I don't know what he meant by that. Why do I monetize my AdSense? Because I monetize my time. My time is not free. And we're gonna get into that. I'm gonna monetize all the time. If you don't like it, cool, don't watch it. I'm gonna always monetize. My time is free. I'm setting up here, entertaining you, providing a service. My monetization don't even make me enough money. Bro, I wish it was more. It ain't enough. Little 10 cents. Bro, fire on my face. So we're gonna go ahead and get to it, man. We're gonna get to it. Let me make sure that mic's still working. So I dealt with those two things that showed up in my comments, so I want to deal with that. A few things we're going to discuss in this video. I'm gonna go ahead and get out the way. Lately I've been seeing a lot of this Robin Hood nonsense. This I'm the people's champ because I don't do this and I don't get free bottles and I don't. It's annoyed me because it's phony from some of y'all. I'm gonna talk about the first one. Jen Sense. I'm gonna say names. See, I don't throw rocks and hide my hand. Jen Sense, come to the table. If you're watching this, come on camera. Let's talk about it. Now, that was my guy, but he's been real disappointing me with this tongue-in-cheek nonsense and like kind of showing his hand, but not showing your hand. But I'm the Robin Hood people's champ. You've been full of shit lately. Let's talk about how when everybody was getting Michael Malal fragrances, remember that? You did a whole video banging on people for getting free bottles and how their fragrances sucked and was mid-tier. Now you're working with them and you deleted the video. What are we talking about? You Robin Hood for that? Why'd you delete the video? Why'd you put it in private or whatever? Why is it not on your channel no more? But you Robin Hood, right? Because you don't get free bottles, then started working with the company that you banged on. People's champ. Then you threw shots because you got a falling out with Navitus, right? You threw shots. You threw shots at Big Beard business, right? You basically said, we're going to call it what it is, bro. I'm going to call it. You did a video. Is the video still up? Maybe, maybe not. Hold on, let me stop this and I'm going to go into it. My opinion, Green Novel's tweed is better than the Ventus flagship, the entire line. Hey, man, that's your opinion. You're entitled to it. And who's to tell you wrong? And that's another thing, another rant I'm going to get into. But you basically said you made Big Beard's business fragrance, his coffee fragrance. And then you tap danced and backpedaled after you got a little bit of heat.
Emotional damage.
Why'd you do that? Staying on business. Staying on business. If you're going to say it, staying on business. Then you talk about, well, you know, this is another thing I hate with a few people might do this. The whole, I'm going to say a company told me to do this, but you don't say the company name. Stand on business. If a company said, I need you to say A, B, C, and D, say the company's name, people's champ Robin Hood. You don't do that because you're playing politics. Or you would say the company's name. Why won't you just say the name? You ain't have a problem saying Navitus. So why you hiding? If it happened, say the name. If a company reached out to me and said, and I'm just going to pick up a fragrance. If MFK reached out to me and said, hey, man, I want to send you this fragrance, but I need you to say this, this, and this, and this. If I'm going to be the people's champ, I'm going to come on here and I'm not going to say, hey, some company that sent me this, but be on the lookout if people start reviewing a certain company. Nah, bro, I'm staying on business. MFK sent this to me and I have the email. You don't like it, MFK, sue me. I'll show the email. I'll basically tell MFK to I'm going to stand, if it happened, I'm going to stand on it because I have evidence. If they try to sue me, I have evidence to prove it. If I got evidence, it ain't nothing you can say to me. That's a lot of y'all be talking, y'all don't be having evidence. Well, y'all will stand on it, say people's names. That's the motto here. Say the name. And I'm disappointed in you for doing that weak shit. It was weak. Again, you had all the hate for Michael Malal. You did a whole video on it. Then you started working with him. Make it make sense. By all means, come on if you watching. I said your name. Or I can come on your live and we can talk about it and you can address it. However you want to do it. Free smoke. Next, we're going to talk about another few things I've been seeing. Old head OGs salty and beefing because you ain't keeping up with the times like the old newspaper. When newspaper had to go digital. Robes 08. 07. Come to the court. You've been shooting a lot of hate at a lot of people for free bottles. Why does that bother you, bro? Somebody put a super chat, say my name, say my name. Yeah, we saying names tonight. We saying names tonight. Robes, come to the table. So you talk about people getting parfums de Marley. This is the parfums de Marley. People doing parfums de Marley. And listen, man. In business in general, you must adapt and overcome in any business. The ways of fragrance companies sending things to a newspaper so they can send a scented strip in a magazine for people to try is over, newspaper guy. Working with influencers is the way. Why? Because I got an audience, right? Like right now, I got 264 people right now in the chat. So 264 people right now at this moment is watching me talk. If I talk about blue gin, 5 of y'all might buy the fragrance. Whether I say it's good or not. At least get a sample. Y'all might. That's eyes for them. It's smart business. K. Ali, I don't own any of her fragrances. None of them. She's smart by giving stuff to influencers. That's how business is run. So if she only gave it to Kim Kardashian, would you be upset that Kim Kardashian is talking about it? Bro, first of all, y'all are watching me on YouTube. Do you all know, influencer too, that YouTube is a advertising platform? You know that every time you know Instagram is advertising platform. TikTok is advertising. You know Facebook is advertising. How do you think these companies are billion-dollar companies? They sell advertising. If somebody talks, when you see Shaq in a Buick, do you want to go buy a Buick? But you know he got a Mercedes and probably an exotic. But you see him doing a Buick commercial. Do you go buy it? Maybe, maybe not. But it's advertising. It's all advertising. Robes. If you're not getting free bottles, you feel some kind of way? If you watching, come on, let's talk about it. Because you've been shooting a lot of shots. Subliminals, though. Say people's names. Say their names. If it's a lot of people, say a lot of people's names. But say their names like I'm saying yours. So I don't own none of Parfums de Marly fragrances, right? Well, I have one. Here, I rarely wear it. I wear it here and there. When I want a tobacco, I reach for something else. But it's idiocy for me to come on here and say that those fragrances don't smell good. I smelled what's their new one? What's their new one just came out? What's that new one? Pegasus, not Pegasus, Perseus. Their citrus one. I smelled it. It was it's okay to me. But am I going to say it smelled bad? If somebody come on and say Perseus smells bad, bro, I can't trust you. It smells good. What I would be willing to spend my money on and what smells good is irrelevant. Those are two separate things. Because if I sit up here and tell you what I would spend my money on, 90% of stuff y'all talking about I wouldn't spend my money on. A lot of y'all will never spend your money on faith. I don't care. I would, but in the same breath, I don't own any Sauvages. Nothing from the Sauvage line. I'm not remotely interested in spending $1 on any of that. Do that mean that if I come up here and say that Sauvage line ain't good, that's a bold-faced lie. It smells good, but I don't have to have it. So if influencers getting bottles from Parfums de Marly and saying it's good. Or do you think the audience that watch you are just so damn stupid? Let's talk about another fragrance, Soulja Boy's S-Boy. To me, I didn't care for it. I wouldn't spend my money on it. Not a dime. But does it smell good? Yeah, it smells good. Would I get it for $50? No, I still wouldn't spend $50 on it. Why wouldn't I do that? Because it's based on my collection, because I built a fragrance wardrobe. I don't feel a need to buy everything from any house. That's common financial sense. People will... Where's the fragrance? I don't have one on my desk. There's a lot of fragrances that, based on what I own, some of y'all see my top 10 list. Based on my top 10 list, I don't have to buy no fragrance. I can have those top 10 and I can get rid of everything else. I'll smell fantastic. I don't have to buy another fragrance that comes out ever in my life. Do that mean that fragrances coming out don't smell good? So you're upset because reviewers are getting bottles, and if somebody sends me a bottle, it's only right and not rude for me to talk about it. And just because I wouldn't buy it, I'm not here to tell you that. I'm here to tell you about the fragrance. Is Pegasus good or Perseus good? Yeah, it's good. Don't mean I have to buy it. I tell y'all all the time, what do I say on my channel for those who support me? What I always say, sample, bro. I hope none of y'all are blind buying my top 10 I did yesterday. I hope you're not. Well, La Cordée is so goddamn affordable. It's so simple. It's not even complex. It's just, but I mean, if you can get a sample is not going nowhere. It'll be on Joma Shop for like 170, 140 here and there. I would probably try to catch it at 140. But I mean, I don't feel the need to buy another fragrance coming out. So if somebody, I don't get free fragrances. And I'm talking from somebody who don't get a lot of free fragrances. Zaharoff send me fragrances, and Electimus. I'm now part of Electimus crew. They'll send me some stuff. Day 3 shows love. He got a new fragrance out. Will he send it? Maybe, and maybe not. I don't know. But he's shown love. The bottles I have were sent to me. I've disclosed that. And I had like a few samples sent to me by Savoir Faire or like travel itemizers. Soul Cafe I paid for. Love Suede I paid for an amazing scent. And Ovation for Man sent me some stuff. Other than that, everything else back here I paid cash for. But does that make me better than a reviewer who has bottles paid for? I mean, given to him? Sebastian has, I think he said, 5,000 fragrances? You think he paid for all those? I'm not going to get in his pockets, but do you think he paid for all those? Do you? So, Robes, I don't understand why you keep harping on this, bro. Just do what you do. Take your fragrances, do your pop the cherry thing, stay in your lane, just do what you do, bro. I don't feel like you watching a video because I rocks with you and you crying and bitching. About free bottles gang. Listen, man, I think at least my viewership, maybe other people's viewership are stupid. Maybe all the rest of y'all are stupid. People who support me, y'all are pretty smart and intelligent. But what do I always say? Sample, don't blind buy. I think that's, do we have to say that at this point? But even when I say sample, don't blind buy, you're still going to blind buy this. Is that my fault or yours? This is $700. On a deal in a group, you might get it for like $550, $570. You're still going to blind buy it. Whose fault is that? So if Boadicea started giving out free bottles, do I now not supposed to like this? Do I not supposed to say how incredible it is? Do I supposed to lie to y'all and say it's not my favorite fragrance because it's free? Oh, Boadicea don't give anything out, not to my knowledge, and no, I paid for this. But if this was gifted to me, should I not feel the same way? If it's good, it's good. Most things are good, bro. 90% of all fragrances smell good. Even fragrances that don't really jive with me. Zaharoff came out with Bloom. That's a jasmine fragrance. I don't rock with jasmine. I just don't. I have an to it. It's not my favorite fragrance. If I was buying all Zaharoff fragrances for me, I'm speaking for me. If I was buying all those, he wouldn't send it to me, I probably wouldn't have bought that. Just because I'm like, oh, it's jasmine heavy. That's not my thing. I can skip that. But is it a good fragrance? Yeah, if you like jasmine, it's creative. I still need to give that a couple more days wearing to do like a full thoughts on that. Because when it starts to transition and dry down, if you wear that and you're not going straight up the nose, it smells better than me spraying it and doing this. I can spray this and do this. With that, I can't because I don't like Indo and I don't like animalic jasmine. I'm on the dot for that. Don't mean it's a horrible fragrance. I don't personally like jasmine. It wouldn't be something I would have spent my own money on. I I like a lot of things that I wouldn't buy. Versace Eros. Do it smell good? Yeah, bro. It smells overly artificial to me, though. So for me, I wouldn't spend my money on that. But do it stink? No, it's just not for me. The new Versace Eros dropping out a new one that's citrus. I'm not remotely interested in buying that. Or is it really smelling that? But for shits and giggles, if I'm in the mall and I see it, I'll smell it. Why? The Y line? I don't own the Y line. I'm not remotely interested in it. Do it smell good? Do Y eau de parfum smell good? Yes. If you say it don't, you're a liar. But I wouldn't buy it. I wouldn't buy a lot of stuff y'all love. What I would buy is irrelevant to a fragrance review, especially if somebody's sending it to me. You want to know what it smells like. I'm going to tell you. Figure it out for yourself. Get a sample. That's the point of it. Y'all over here upset because people getting free bottles, robes. You are too. Stop. Do what you do. Pop your cherry, talk about your fragrances. Stop it, bro. You too good for that. You an OG. Set an example. Set an example, please. Like, enough.
Emotional damage.
Stop it. Another video I seen floating around that I want to dissect, that a lot of people been high-fiving like this was the end-all be-all. This video floating around got a lot of views. Claire Smith, right? I'm going to say names. So she did a video and she put out some good information. She it was a lot of stuff that I've said. A lot of other people said, which is like, trust your own nose, don't trust influencers. But I think that's a lot of that self-explanatory rhetoric, right? Y'all do know that y'all should trust your own nose, right? Y'all know that, right? If you don't know that, I don't know, put money in the chat if you don't know you should trust your own nose. But I think it's cool to say, because there might be a 16-year-old kid who might come across my channel and might be like heavily influenced. It is what it is. But when you say don't trust influencers and you an influencer, then we should probably turn the video off. Why should we trust you? But it's a catchy phrase like, panty droppers. That's what that was. That was another panty dropper catchy phrase. You're not Robin Hood. But she put out some good information. But it's some things that was like really crazy that she put out. One, she talked about negative reviews, right? That we need to do more negative reviews. That's asinine. I need to go out, spend $200 of my hard-earned money for me to say it sucks. The fuck? And then do what with it? Set on my shelf $200 I'm not going to, or say how much it sucks and go into the same Facebook group of people who support me and say, hey, somebody buy this off me, although I said it sucked. Because I'm hoping that you're testing the fragrance out before you say it sucks. So you probably wore it at least 7 times. I'm hoping you're worn it a couple times before you came to a conclusion on a review. So are you buying fragrances, wearing them 7 times, and like a cheapskate going back to the store and returning it? I think that's worse. So you're buying your hard-earned money to buy stuff you don't like on purpose to review the dumbest goddamn shit. That was illogical. Illogical and
emotional damage.
That made it's illogical to do. All y'all wanting us to do negative reviews all the time? Now, if I get bottles sent to me, like I got a lot of stuff coming into me. I'm doing hauls every week. And I'm like, me personally, I don't do hauls because I don't get stuff sent to me and I just don't talk about everything I spend my money on and buy. That's crazy to me. That's not my thing. But if I was getting boxes sent to me all the time, then I would probably do hauls and then I would do first impressions right then and there. I think that's fun. My guy Ross does that all the time. Now he does some stuff where he's buying a whole bunch of, but that's his thing. That's his shtick. That ain't my shtick. I'm not knocking him for doing that, but that's not my shtick. But I don't spend my money that way because I live in the Washington, D.C. area where I can smell everything. 90%, and I got a connect who lives around the corner from me. I smell everything before I buy it. Generally speaking, I've sampled it or I've smelt it. Generally speaking. So going out and buying stuff you don't like for the purposes of views, you know how many views I have to get on a video to make 200? I probably got to get 100K views to make $200. And y'all have to watch it through and not skip the commercials. So your video didn't even produce bro, that is hustling backwards. And I say I'm not your financial advisor, but that's dumbass financial advice. So the whole negative review stuff is stupid. You say incorrect, brother? Correct me then, my brother. I don't want to speak wrong on you. I do know you do hauls because I watch some of them, but I don't know if some of those, I know a lot of stuff you buy because you say, hey man, and this is my fragrance buy stuff, I bought stuff. So I'm not saying you got sent all your hauls. I just use that as an example for me. But I do want to be clear on that. I don't want to misput information. Let me see. Again, I don't want to put misinformation. Not near that many views make it that. Yeah, the views ain't even worth it. So why would I spend $200 and retail $300+ just to bang on it? That's hustling backwards. How do I get rid of that fragrance then? Can you tell me how to get rid of that fragrance? If I hate it, you watch me, or you're gonna buy the fragrances I hate? That's smart, is it? Okay, so that was dumb, and I couldn't get into that. Let me bring Ross in for a second. Have him cut me off, and then I'm gonna get back to it. But he's on, and I know he's gonna be in and out, so I don't want to listen. This is a fact-based thing. I'm just gonna spit facts, not fiction out here.
No, it's real quick. It's about the view thing, man. Yeah, it don't take 100,000 views to make $200 on YouTube.
All right, well, tell the people. Let's talk about it. I don't know. I don't make that kind of money.
Yeah, no, you were right about the hauls, man. I buy stuff. I bought some stuff today. Fragrance buy and restock. I bought 5 fragrances earlier. Yeah, that's my thing. I love doing that. Right. No, to make 200. Let's say you average around 5 to 6 minutes watch time on a particular video, because the watch time's key here.
Okay.
When it's monetized. I would say around 20,000 views, roughly. 25,000 views will make you $200, $150, $200. As long as the watch time's there. If it's a short video, a 5-minute video, it's harder you need more views then. But if it's like something that's a topic that's like a 15, 16-minute video and you average 30, 40% audience retention, so 5-6 minute range on average for those views, 20-ish thousand views.
Okay, I've never seen 20,000 views, so that don't even that's even more why that's illogical to me. Anything else you want to add? Because I know you ripping around.
I got one for you, and you'll love this because you proud of this. Our live stream, you and I, that has 229,000 views or something like that. The average watch time is 59 minutes. A wild guess how much money that video's made in the 10 year it's been up.
I see you Shannon.
I've made a little coin on that video. I'm just gonna throw it out there.
Hey man, you work hard. That's why they there for, man. That's all they there for. But
yeah, I'm in and out. I just wanted to pop in just to throw a little quick perspective on that for the people that don't know, because I know you don't do a ton of content. Your views aren't way up there because you pop in and out, do your live streams, which one of the best. I mean, you're wild. But last night, aside from when you're just going off on people, love when you do live streams. I'm sure your audience appreciates it as well, man. Real recognize real. Lots of love, my brother. I'll be watching.
Appreciate you, brother. Yeah. So again, I want facts to be out there if I want them to clear that up. So that's good. So for me, that don't make sense. So 20K views to make $200. You can do the math by watching everybody's views if you want to get in people's pocket. Grown men don't really pocket watch, but if you decide you want to do that, you do that. But that don't make sense. So then she had the audacity to say, to talk about affiliate links. She said, I think everybody ain't getting 15 higher percent. I don't know what everybody else make. I think on average, it's going to be anywhere from about 7 to 10%. So let's just do 10% for easy math. 10% for easy math. So for every $100, that's $10. La Cordée is $145. If y'all bought that, let's just say I get 10%, which I don't, that's $14. She said that's a lot of money. Bro, that's a Wendy's sandwich. But here's the kicker with that. If you have an audience and your audience spends money, I don't have the largest audience, but I know at least 10 people who paid for a $500 plus dollar fragrance because I said it's like that. One thing my audience gonna do is spend coin. We gonna spend some money and we don't complain about it. This is, let's just say 500 even for easy math. Bro, so Boadicea made, what, 500 times 10, 5,000? So you think me getting 10% of that is a bad thing? So so you want everybody to do if I got 200K subs or whatever, you want me to do that for free? They're paying access to my audience. In no sense is that even logical. Do you think you can go to Kim Kardashian, go in her inbox and say, hey, I got some t-shirts. Can you talk about it? You know what Kim K gonna do? She gonna say, here's my price list. Holler at me. You think you can walk up to NFL and say, hey, I got a product. I know the Super Bowl is the biggest watched channel. I want to get my commercial on the Super Bowl. It's a great product. Can y'all review it and talk about it? You know what NFL gonna do is say, cut me a check. Do y'all not know how business work? Y'all want reviewers to buy. You know how many times somebody tell me I need to go buy and try something? You know how many times I get that a day? You know how much money that would cost me for every recommendation somebody tell me to go buy? For what? Money growing trees? Y'all want us to buy everything, talk about everything. I'm going to tell you now, if reviewers didn't get free bottles and they didn't monetize content and they didn't have fragrance, y'all wouldn't know about half the fragrances you know about. You think the perfume guy pays for all that? You thought he spent, I don't know, I'm not getting his pockets, but you think he paid for those 5,000 he got? You're not that delusional, are you? Are you? You can't be, nah. That's a horrible investment. You're gonna die. I don't even have that much, and I'm gonna die before all this is gone. And that's if I stop buying. But yet y'all want us, bro, I really wish that the review game had a union and I was the president of that union. I would prove a point because I would do a union strike for 3 months. No buying, no posting on TikTok, no posting on Instagram, no YouTube videos upload. If you have a fragrance Facebook page, shut it down and deactivate it for 3 months. Go ghost and go silent for 3 months. And I want to see how y'all, and do it when all the new fragrances are coming out. And I want to see how y'all act. If I was the president, I would do that. I'd be like, everybody, table, hear ye. We're going on strike 3 months. And I want to see when all the new fragrances are coming out. And I want to see how y'all behave when nobody's doing fragrance reviews. And, I mean, y'all will probably save a lot of money. But y'all will be like, I don't know what to do. And we shut down our fragrance Facebook groups, shut them down. Boom. You go in there one day to try to log onto a group, fragrance marketplace or anything. Bro, it's not there. It doesn't exist. Y'all will be like a whole bunch of junkies. Chris Rock. Out there talking about So that to me made no valid sense that people shouldn't have affiliate links. Now, should we disclose? Because a lot of y'all don't know that we might get a percentage of the sale. But, bro, it costs you nothing. Y'all already getting a fragrance at like 30% off. So you want the extra $14? You already getting this fragrance like $300-some. You already getting it at $140. So you also want the $14 I'm going to get for even putting you onto it? Are we talking about? You make no Bro, free bottles is why you even get the content you get. K.I.L.E. a lot of people ain't going out buying every K.I.L.E. thing, but she sends stuff out. Why? She's a good businesswoman. Because she figures that, oh, you have an audience, which is a network television. This is my audience. Y'all are my audience. I'm a network television show. Look at me as NBC, because y'all right now going to give me an hour of your time to watch me rant and talk. So this is television. YouTube is going to get paid. You know, YouTube's getting paid for me being live right now, right? You know, I get a small percentage of this live based on what YouTube is happy I'm live right now with 300 people. You know how much money YouTube making because I'm doing this? And I get pennies. For this 1 hour live, maybe 5,000 views. Bro, I'm lucky if I see $100. You crazy? So now you mad because I get $14 when you save $150? Oh, you really don't fuck with us, really. I see. All y'all want to do is take, and y'all don't want to give. Y'all probably ain't even hitting the like button. You don't share the content. You want channels to grow, but I'm going to tell you why else affiliate links is important. You know why affiliate links is important? When you want somebody to give me bottles so I can do more content and upload more content, you know how they judge that? They judge that on engagement and bottom line. When y'all go on General Shop and hit my link, you know what General Shop say? Oh, this EQ guy we decided to work with, a lot of people buy stuff. Oh, well, maybe we should up what he gets, or maybe we should, General Shop, not to my knowledge, because I don't get it, give out free bottles. But let's just use Fragrance Buy, for example. So Fragrance Buy, say, because I don't have an affiliation with them. I don't know what they do. Ross do, I think Justin do. They in the chat, I seen them. They can speak on that. Not speaking on shit I don't know about. But let's just say, this is on Fragrance Buy for shits and giggles. Fragrance Buy will say, okay, you know, EQ, we'll give you an affiliate link. And y'all keep bypassing what she suggests, that you bypass your favorite reviewer's affiliate link on purpose. She suggested that nonsense. You know, if Fragrance Buy say, man, we had this guy for a year, why are we sending him anything? I don't know why Madam Bowtie, appreciate you coming through. If your husband want to hop on, I know he might be out busy, tell him hop on, let's get to it. But Fragrance Buy say, damn, they buying up all the Moncler stuff. Damn, EQ really got an audience over there. Well, let me send him another 13 so he can review. You know what that does for you? It's me talking about other fragrances that I wouldn't probably buy because I don't need to buy. But now I get more stuff to talk about, which is more content. And some of this might be fragrances you might like. Rather that be clones and stuff. If I'm talking about clones and Middle Eastern companies started sending me clones, you know what that does for you? Now you have cheaper alternatives. And you're crying about the goddamn 10% I'm going to get? Are you? How else do you think channels grow? Do you think a lot of these people with the larger channels, the larger channels, will be going out spending thousands of dollars on clone fragrances just because if rather the views didn't monetize the property or some stuff wasn't getting sent, or you know what that does? That gives you an opportunity to now find a cheaper alternative for maybe Blue Talisman because Lattafa might have one. But why the hell am I going to buy it? I have this. Why would I go buy that fragrance? If Latifah sent it to me, well, then I can talk about it. That's good for you. Gives me an anxiety because there's more shelves I have to get. How do you think things are judged? And she had the audacity to say y'all should purposely skip these. You say you support the company. He told you to purposely, I'm going to watch them, but I'm going to purposely skip their affiliate links because they get $10. Bro, I can't even go to I can't even take a woman on a date at Chick-fil-A for that. Moving on to the next thing, because that's the dumbest shit I've heard. She said, oh, well, that doesn't do good for the smaller companies. Yes, that's life. That's business. We live in a capitalistic society. Absolutely. We don't live in a socialist society. So smaller companies have to find other ways they just got to work harder. That's with every startup business. You know that most people who start a business fail in general. Most businesses that start up fail, the average. That's a fact. They fail. You got to get your name out somewhere and get the buzz running. Let's keep it a buck. Before Beverly Hills Perfumery was the only people who had Uniquee Luxury, right? It was exclusive. Wasn't that fragrance buy like it is now? It wasn't readily available. I started talking about this. It started blowing up. People started talking about it. They reached out. They gave bottles to Justin. They gave me one bottle, Crush on Me. That's it. They haven't reached out since. But they given other bottles to other people. But who might have started the train running for this company? Me. One of the sole voices for it. Do I get rewarded? No, I'm not asking for it, but I'm stating facts, not fiction. But I'm not blaming. Listen, it just is what it is, but I'm going to state facts while I'm ranting. They haven't reached out to me to give me more bottles on their newer fragrance, Mango-nificent, and anything else. But and I paid for this. The only fragrance I got from them is Crush on Me. Very good fragrance. Patchouli, caramel, saffron. It's very good. It lasts all day. But they started off and then they moved on and then they said, oh, well, I mean, we never really had to work with you. You gave us free publicity, but we're going to give bottles to Justin. I'm not mad. That's my guy. He's in the chat. He can come on. That's cool. But they gave out bottles to him and other people, I believe. Matter of fact, let me not speak on things I don't know. I think he did a video and he said they gave him some bottles. I don't want to speak on I don't know how many bottles he got. He might have only got Crush on Me like me. So I don't want to speak, but I think he talked about Alkanese and a few other things, Izmir, I think. But I believe he did a video on that where he said the company sent me this. But that's never here nor there. But am I mad? No, it makes sense. He got over 60, 70,000, almost at 90. She'll be at 100. Should have been at 100. But either way, he has more followers. That's good business. They don't owe me a goddamn thing. It's not socialism. They don't owe me. At the same time, something she addressed, we don't owe these companies. I don't owe Indie Brand to buy their product and give them free marketing. If I smell it and it smells good, cool, I'll talk about it. But I don't have to go out my way. All right, everybody, let's start talking about Parfums de Marly and talk about Eau de EQ over here. He's a good company. Why don't you just do that on your platform? Stop worrying about everybody else. Bro, it's my money. I work hard for my money. I don't think I owe anybody. No company. I don't have brand loyalty. I just don't. So this idea that reviewers, God forbid I had 100K subs. There's a reason Fat Joe said yesterday's price is not what? Today's price. My audience grew, you gotta pay. When nobody was really watching the NFL in the earlier days during the Super Bowl, before Living Color did the halftime show and there was no halftime show. And then they did the halftime show because people was turning off the NFL to go over to Living Color and watch their halftime thing. So they started doing the halftime show. When NFL has smaller viewerships, I'm sure it costs less money to have a commercial on. I bet you yesterday's price isn't today's price. That's called business. And I'm gonna get to some of y'all comments, please. I'm gonna get to it. But let me go off real quick. So this idea that we owe smaller companies, I owe small artisanal brands. I don't even owe. No, I don't. No, I don't. And if Parfums de Marly want to send out me their whole fragrances in a bundle, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna talk about, let me see, on TikTok Shop and don't have a YouTube channel. I'll talk about that next, right now. Matter of fact, let me put this up here so I won't forget. It's what it is. If Parfums de Marly saw this video and said, we're gonna send you everything we have, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna do it live and talk about it. I smelled all their fragrances. Most of them are good. All of them are good. I haven't smelled one I hated. Don't mean I need to go out and buy it. But if I review it for what it is, it's good. Perseus is good. It's citrus, vetiver, easy to wear, daytime vibes. You going out, you kicking it. It is. It's not bad. Am I going to buy it? No, I don't need to buy it because I have this. And I have this. And I have this. And I have this. And I have this. Why do I need that alone? It's like $2,000 worth of fragrances. Why do I need to go buy another? Let me address. Please address TikTok people promote fragrances on TikTok Shop and don't have a YouTube channel. Listen, man, TikTok, madam, TikTok is just, it's damn near a sales spot. They selling all day on TikTok. But, you know, always say don't hate the player, hate the game. I said the best way to do TikTok, in my opinion, what I would do if I cared that much, I think I just don't care enough about this internet stuff. And that's a reflection on how much content I do. Clearly, I don't care. But I would just sit back. I will watch the biggest channels. I'll watch Jeremy, I'll watch Curly, and I'll watch Jensen's because they're getting like 100K plus views on their videos, right? I would look at what they talked about on their top 10. I would probably go buy those top 10. I would regurgitate that information. If I could find it on TikTok, I would then put it into my links, which is their form of affiliate links. That's their form of affiliate links. And then if I grew a following, because I would grow a following because I'm just regurgitating what they did, I don't have to know much. And then it is what it is. I don't hate the player, hate the game. If y'all can't see it, it is what it is. I don't want to treat y'all like y'all idiots. Most people, because I looked at my analytics that follow me are of adult age. I'm talking 30s. I don't have a lot of 16 and 20-year-olds watching me. So I'm expect that you all are grown and mostly men with an occasional sprinkle of women. So I'm going to expect that most of you are homeowners, have jobs, careers, you pay bills. Some of you have kids, maybe. I'm assuming you should be responsible. I'm not going to assume that you're an idiot. Figure it out. But as I always say, sample everything. Everything. I don't know why I don't have a sample sponsorship. Bro, I tell people to sample everything. Anyway, so those are the three things. And a lot of stuff she put out, it wasn't a bad video, but those were three of the dumbest things. And then the thing she did, she didn't say names. She came on and said a company sent me this and beat around the bush about some company sent me an email and told me they need to do this and I denied them. So, but be on the lookout for them. Bro, stop with the throwing your, say the company's name then. Stand on it. You know why you won't say the company? What you scared of? If you speaking facts and telling the truth, why won't you say the company's name? Because lies will get you sued. The truth won't get you sued. So if you have proof of this, then if they sue you, do a video. I've been sued. Here's my proof. That's what I would do. So why won't you? Oh, you want those political alliances, right? I don't know. I just don't know why you won't say the company's name. Just say it. You already threw shots at reviewers. Say the reviewer's name or just say the company's name and be done with it. Listen, man, a lot of y'all are upset with where Fragcom is going. It is what it is. Sex sales, all my life, sex is sold. I haven't seen anything not sold with sex. You know how I know? Because the most beautiful people do advertising. I never seen a funny looking person advertising anything. Not a car. There's a certain aesthetic to advertising. The beautiful woman with big boobs and ass is selling you something. Sex, men especially, generally speaking, are sex driven. Women, generally speaking, are emotionally driven. I need to tap into your imagination and to your emotion, which is why sex with men, a woman walk in front of me right now with a thong, I might get an erection. And I say, oh, it's go time. I got to end this live. It's go time. I got to go. Where with women, if you piss her off, and she's had a bad day, it won't get wet, Holmes. Piss her off and then be like, psych, let me get some. Bro, that shit is like the desert. Be like, you gotta spit, crank it, start it. Let me spit on it, get it started. Yeah, like women don't operate that way. Generally speaking, don't call me a sexist. Generally speaking. So in advertising, that's what it is. Sex sales. If I did videos with a shirt off and, I was sharp like a good-looking brother like my guy Bowtie, it's a good-looking brother. It's a good-looking family. No Diddy. But that's a good-looking family. Good-looking couple. AKA and a Kappa. Go, what else you can? Good-looking kids, bro. Good-looking family. Like the Huxtables. Y'all my Huxtables, bro. But I would just exclusively do women's fragrances and women's fragrances only and say how hot it is. My channel would probably go through the roof. It would probably go through the roof. If I just exclusively bought women fragrances and talked about, and then I talked the way I talk about the notes and vibes and stuff, I would probably fly past most female reviewers. There's a reason why beautiful female reviewers who have sex appeal do very well selling male fragrances. You dirty bastards are horny. It's cool. It is what it is. Am I going to hate? No. That's how the world works. It works so good that a reviewer like Melissa National, I remember when she first started, I watched a little bit of her stuff. She did a whole video about how panty droppers, all these videos suck and people shouldn't do these videos. Then Curly got on the scene and then she started talking about how she's pound towning. What? Bro, what the fuck is everything became sex to her. Oh, my girlfriend, I'm pound town. I had to unfollow. Shit got crazy, bro. I'm like, yo, like, you did videos talking about how we shouldn't be doing this, and then she got smart. She said, I'm a pimp, y'all. She said, I'm a pimp, y'all. I'm saying names. You did that video. I ain't mad at you. Make your money, Holmes. If people, they should look beyond that. This is entertainment. Kuba says it. Big Beard, I talked to them, put me on. They all said it. At the end of the day, this is entertainment. I'm an entertainer or a entertainer, bro. Yes, I try to tell you about a fragrance as best as I can. My job is done after that. It's your job to figure it out and sample on your own. But she got smart. I don't think her video or her ranting went anywhere. She did the same thing like Claire did. Don't trust people, don't steal sex. Then Curly came in. Bro, Curly went from motherfucking, she went from motherfucking like 5K subs and to goddamn 100K in a year. Bro, she was crazy. She had it like Kevin Samuel style. To me, that's smart business. And she said, oh, I need to change up. I'm pound towning my girl. Y'all get this, I'm pound towning. Bro, like, and y'all, her numbers went up. Am I saying that people should do that? People should do whatever works best for them. But y'all all are adults, right? Grown men and women. Yes. I look at my analytics. Y'all do know that this ain't gonna get you pussy, right? I don't know. It should get you a compliment. Goddamn. I mean, yo, it should get you. You might look funny if you don't get one, or maybe you just a recluse and like staying inside. You kind of gotta be places to get compliments and talk to people. Be approachable. Try that. Try clothes that fit. You're 40 and you still dress like a 6-year-old. I don't know. Dress up. But I'm telling you for a fact. If you are dressed like Darian, just dressed alone, I don't care what Darian's wearing. He's going to get a compliment. The brother looks good. Pause. We can acknowledge that, right? No Diddy? Bro, if he put on Jovoy in a suit, tailor-made, sharp, got his Teej Hanley on. No, I don't got sponsor for them, but I know they be doing that sponsorship. But I mean, get your money. You should. Teej Hanley. But no, man, that's my guy though. You think he won't get a compliment on this? He should. Because the brothers put together, he's well-spoken, he's personable. He's personable because over 100K, y'all watch him. Some YouTubers are kind of personal, and then in real life, they kind of, But I don't think Darian's like that in real life. I think Darian who he is. Big Beard is who he is. I'm keeping him home. Hey, man, you can't keep him home forever. That man got to go to work. But listen, man, the Huxtables, that's my new nickname for y'all. Beautiful family. I swear to God it is. I like y'all representing. I want y'all to do more lives and more Dro. Yeah. Yeah, do a podcast or something, man, on healthy marriages so we can get rid of this other nonsense. But anyway, yeah, man, she understood what it was. Let's talk about how hype works, because a lot of y'all be mad about hype. Let me move on, because some people might come on. Hype. A couple things. Why do you care that a fragrance hype? I see this a lot of times in the community. This fragrance is too much hype. And then you just be like, I gotta hate it just because it's too much hype. So what? So how does that affect? Nobody talks about faith on a constant basis but me. Do I care that y'all want to own it? No. Do I care that y'all want? I hope y'all don't smell like me. If I'm out in public and I do a meet and greet and you doing this, you might have to see me with the hands. Because I think you out of pocket for doing that, knowing it's my signature scent. Bro, run my fade. You know what I'm saying? Like, why you do that? We was doing a meet and greet. That's my thing. Like, where's something else, bro? Like, you D-riding. But now, all love. Do I care that that's hype? No. Some of y'all be mad. Man, people need to talk about Pearl more. I'm going to talk about it. And if y'all don't talk about it, cool. If everybody talk about it, I'm not hating. But hype works. I don't know. It's a marketing team. Parfums de Marley sends everything out. People review it, because if you get sent something, you should probably do the smart thing, which is business, as a kind gesture, to actually review it or feature it. And then people go get it. That's how life works, bro. Nobody wants to sit around and talk about your vintage Guerlain from the 1800s that smells like old bookshelves and carpet and a camel's ass with a dead flower. Yes, that's never going to be hype, bro. Get over it. It's never going to get the hype you want it to get. We're not. You're a niche within a niche. Stop being upset because people actually want to walk out the house and smell good. Some people are single. They want to attract the same sex or opposite sex or whatever they're into. Fragrance is nonverbal communication. You can say a lot without saying anything. That's why body language is also important. It's nonverbal communication. Fragrance is a bottle opportunity. I smell good. Somebody acts. I get to open my mouth and say intelligent things out my mouth in order to garner intrigue or mystique, exchange numbers, see where it goes. It will never seal a deal. Y'all know this, right? Y'all know that somebody's not going to smell this and then panties are coming right off and we're going to be doing back shots in the parking lot, right? Like, you know that's not happening. And if it does, it probably cost me $40. If your favorite fragrance isn't hype, you don't need the affirmation. Some of y'all, and this is why I started doing my fragrance disclaimers, because y'all used to get upset because y'all be like, well, what about this fragrance? I'm surprised this fragrance. Who cares, bro? This is my list. Don't be surprised. Don't be shocked. Take my list for what it is. It's a list of 10, not a list of 10,000. You don't need the affirmation. Again, free bottles, get over it. Especially you, Robes, get over it. People are going to keep getting free bottles. Do your cherry pop and what you do on your side. We don't need to see you ranting through shots. And if you're going to throw shots, say your name. In your next video, say my name. And then we can really get to it. You can come on, I'll come on your channel, and we can get to it. We can, it is what it is. Big Beard, what's up, Holmes? I talked about that when Jen Sense was talking crazy, said he made your fragrance, then started tap dancing. Y'all saw each other at the airport, huh? I don't know. You might not want to tell that story. But nah, we're going to talk about it. If you want to come on, you already know you got the link. You can come on. We could talk about some things. I've been trying to get, I ain't going to say talk about that. But listen, man, everybody listening to me, everybody watching, you all are fragrance experts. I'm going to break it down. Everybody watching, you all are fragrance experts. You know what expert you are? On how something works for you. How can I tell you how something works for you? I don't talk about how this works for you. I don't know you. But I know when I wear this, I get complimented. Will it work for you? Maybe, maybe not. You're the expert for you. So if you want to pick up a camera phone, a tripod, and talk about a fragrance and how good it is or how bad it is or whatever you want to do, you're the expert for you. A fragrance reviewer is nothing more but saying what works for us. I can't speak for you. Y'all understand this, right? Y'all understand this, right? So that's why I don't really like debating. Like if somebody say, hey man, like there was people who said they had some similarities between this and this, 1902 and in Porthole. I don't see it. Does that make them wrong? No, just wrong to me. I don't see it, and I can tell the difference, and you can never wear one or the other and have me mistake one for the other. I would never mistake one for the other. So, but can they be used in the same situation? Hell yeah. Is it redundant? Yeah. I mean, depends on your fragrance wardrobe and how you're building it. Could be redundant. You might not need both of these. But you figure it out. But you're your own expert. Can't nobody tell you're not a fragrance expert. You're one for you. You wear the fragrance. You test the fragrance. You spend time with it. Can't nobody else tell you that. And can't nobody tell you wrong. If you smell this and it smells like pineapple and tea, bro, it smells like pineapple and tea to you. I might say you got COVID, jokingly. No, I might say you got COVID. But I don't get that. don't mean that you are wrong. That's what you get. The notes never tell the whole story, because if the notes told the whole story, this wouldn't, like Isla Blanca, EDT, wouldn't smell the way that it did if the notes told the whole story. Stop going by notes. Fragrance is an experience. It's just a list of notes. And most of the notes aren't even listed, everything that's in there. And most notes just create accords based on your scent memory. So vetiver smells grassy to me at times because my scent memory is grass, not actual vetiver. It's a little earthy. A combination of that and cypriol starts smelling like oud to me. Oud don't have to be listed, but all those notes combining and working together creates an accord on how I experience the fragrance based on my scent memory. In my experience with things that I've smelt. If people smell Ani and they say it smells like Fruity Pebbles, then God damn it smells like Fruity Pebbles. That's not my scent memory. Are they wrong? Yeah, you're wrong. Say no. Are they wrong? Mm-hmm. That's what they smell. That's what they smell. But at the end of the day, man, like, let's go ahead and get into it. If anybody want to come on, I've been ranting for about hour and 26 minutes before this camera go crazy or something. If you want to come on camera because you one of them people who's watching me who thought you was going to come into the comments and troll me, come on camera. Now's the time to do it. And we can just get to it. We can make it entertaining. But you got to turn your camera on. We all got camera phones. Turn it on. Let's talk. If you want to air out your grievances, air it out. I don't care what it is. Air it out. We can talk about it respectfully. I ain't gonna let you talk crazy. While we do that, somebody asked me a question yesterday. Blue gin and gin tonic, are they redundant? No. So blue gin, amazing, bro, amazing scent. Harkens back to the 90s. This is strong. One of my issues, and it's really not an issue for me, with gin tonic, it's fresher than this a little bit. But gin tonic is gonna come and go. Like, you only get about 6 hours, 5-6 hours on this. At least that's what I've been getting. I get great longevity in my fragrances. With this, bro, I'm getting 8+ hours. I get 8+ hours. So I don't find them to be redundant if you own both. Both rooftop vibes. Yeah, rooftop vibes. I would get rooftop vibes on both of those. I do a rooftop video, all white party video, hot summer invigorating video. They would make the list. So real quick, if you got questions, because I was doing my thing, ask them now. We're going to do this for about 20 minutes, give or take 10 to 15 minutes, and then we can go ahead and end it up. But seriously, man, like, things that I've been seeing, stop tripping off a hype. If your favorite fragrance ain't hype, so be it. Man, fragrance, just wave your hand so I can see what you're doing. Make sure you're real. All right, my man, I'm bringing you on. This is my guy, Madden Fragrance. When we come in, we're going to always piece it up. And when we leave, we're going to piece it up. Got me, Holmes? Mega Mac, peace, man. Man, fragrance, you see me?
Yo, what's good, dog?
Peace, what's up, man? Air out your fragrance. What you got, Holmes?
Ain't not much, man. I love, I see. Hold on, man.
While you figure that out, I'm gonna go ahead and leave your thing, and then I'm gonna go ahead and get to something else. When you come back on, we let you air out. But if you come on, try to make your points quick so we can say what you gotta say and we can move on. All right. I know you can probably hear me. You ready? All right, I'm gonna bring you back on. Just say what you gotta say, and then we can move it on, because I want to keep the show at a certain pace.
Absolutely.
All right. Go ahead with me, brother. What you got? Peace.
Yeah, all right. Hey man, it's good talking to you. This is my first time talking to you or whatever. We local, you know what I'm saying? We're in the same DC, PG County area. So, I'm always going to support you, homie.
I figured, much love, man. Supporting you too. You got a channel?
Oh yeah, I got a YouTube channel, man.
All right, I'm gonna go ahead and subscribe to that.
Absolutely, man. I appreciate that, man.
All right. What you got for the people?
Well, with the people today, I got a fragrance for somebody that, a lot of people probably don't even have, to be honest with you. You probably got it, but a lot of other people might not have it, and it's right here. It's called Edge. You ever heard of it?
No, I ain't never heard of that. Who that from?
That's the company, Edge.
Okay.
Yep, that's that company. That's their name, Edge, and they're real clean, man. It smells just like linen, you know?
Right.
Like soapy, but it's real fresh. And I get a lot of compliments on this, about 5-6 hours, but I got about 10 compliments on this the other day, man.
Yeah, clean and fresh always do it. That's why fragrance like Imagination always work, because it's clean and fresh.
Man, shoot. Speaking of imagination, man, do you really like that stuff, man?
Yeah, man. It's soap. It's clean. It's easy to wear. I own it. Here's the thing, man. We stay in the DMV area, right? I go to Tyson's. We got a Louis Vuitton boutique. I smell everything before I buy, and I don't buy nothing I don't like.
Exactly. I go to the one down Chevy Chase.
Okay, yeah, that's a good one too.
Yeah, because I know a lot of other people, but I told some guys about you and stuff. They know you. You know what I'm saying? Right. They look at you and stuff like that. So the next one I got for you is, I know, shout out to Kevin Samuels, rest in peace. But
rest in peace to the Godfather.
He talked about this fragrance right here. I had to get it myself, man. It's right here, Velvet Amber Sun.
I think Darian talked about that too.
Darian,
yeah.
Darian talked about it. BBB, Big Beard Business, he talked about it. Man, let me tell you, I had to go get it, man. Because as soon as I got it, everybody was like, man, look, my lady, she don't even let me wear it.
Right.
That's how crazy it is, man.
Real quick, man, if you got anything about the show, me and you can chop it up off camera, but I want to keep the topic of the show going on, man. You know what I mean? Okay. So we can keep moving.
So we talk. So as far as you talking about the about people, what's going on, calling people out and stuff like that. I mean, you're absolutely right. There's some guys that I really respected a whole lot, but now it's like, hey, what are you talking about? Like, why? Why you going behind people's backs? And we don't do that stuff. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, we got to keep it a buck, right? That's just our culture. That's what we're gonna keep it.
Prime example. That's just like, and I don't hate her. I don't like it. I think she does a good quality on her video, Melissa. When she first came on, she was doing her thing. But now every time, she comes on, first thing she talk about is, stuff about sexuality and all this stuff. I'm like, all right, let me just go ahead and cut that off.
Yeah, and and here's the thing, not to just bang on her because I already gave her like 20 minutes of work. The thing is, man, is like people gonna do what work for them, whatever her motivations are. I don't try to guess what people's motivations are. And I stay, if she getting her money, get your money, man. Like I think that's up to the viewer, right? And clearly she has an audience, so all power to her. I just said, hey, I seen you do this, and you doing this now. I'm calling a thing. But is she wrong for that? It's up to the person if they switch up. You know what I mean? But look, man, we'll wrap on another video, man. I'm gonna go ahead and keep moving. Peace to you, brother.
Yeah, you too, brother. All
right, peace. Yeah, man. I ain't want to just, bang on her because is she wrong for doing? I ain't hating on her. It's just, wasn't my cup of tea. I'm like, it's just like Jeremy. I can acknowledge that things that Jeremy brought to the game, top 10s. I don't think a lot of people was doing top 10s before he started doing that. He was selling sex early. That's why he had the beautiful women, aesthetically pleasing women on his fragrances, and he would do that. And that was selling sex, a form of selling sex. He himself was selling sex, good looking, had a shirt open, was suited up, looking good. And but when I realized I was looking at the list and it was the same old fragrances and stuff, and I was listening, I was like, oh, he selling fragrances to people who won't get pussy. That ain't really for me. And I moved on. I acknowledge though he brought a lot to the game, but he wasn't for me because I'm like, oh, he's selling fragrances and hope to people who don't get ass. And that's never been my cup of tea. So moving on. And that's just not my thing. Am I mad for him for doing that? No, he's brought a lot of eyes to the community. I ain't mad at nobody for doing what they doing, but I'm gonna call a thing. Jen Sense. You was when Darian and all them was getting Mike Malone fragrances, you did an old video banging on them, and now you doing fragrances with them. Where that video at? Disappointed. It is what it is. Is what it is. Anybody else want to come on? I know I seen Beard in there. If Beard want to come on and holler at me. We could chop it up real quick. I know you said you was out, doing some business stuff. So I definitely appreciate you stopping through. Anybody else got any questions? Some other reason my thing went down. Let me catch up with the chat. A few of Jeremy videos called it quits. I mean, yeah, and I'm not mad at them. Listen, man, I'll see something and I'll say, it ain't really for me. I'm not their target audience, and I move on. And I just move on. Let me see. Somebody put this comment, because now I'm going to start looking at the comments. This overall talk gives me perspective of fragrance reviews that do live streams are realists out here. I don't really know if we the realists out here. I don't know if I'm the realist because I do lives. I mean, I kind of found in a space of top 10s, in a space of constant uploading, like maybe I just don't hate because I know why my channel is what it is. There's people who have came on way after me that have passed me. I'm not mad. And maybe I'm not mad and grumpy because I know why my channel ain't doing what it's doing. It's not because y'all don't rock with me. It's because I don't do regular videos. I guarantee if I do 3 videos a week for a month straight, I'll probably get 1,500 new subs. I'll probably be at 16, 17 in a month. Guaranteed. Easy work. I just don't have the time. I'm doing other shit. I don't really be on the internet, bro. Literally, I'll post something on IG, I get off IG. I'll post something on TikTok and disappear from TikTok for like weeks, bro, or whenever I post again. I don't really be on social media. I post, I go outside, I live my life. Every day I try to see my guys that I can remember, or if I get an alert, I try to watch their video, hit a like button, put a comment if I can, and then I'm going back to watching financial videos or something like that. And I keep it moving. All right, my guy. We got the biggest in the game. Listen, man, I might let out the bag. Man, we're going to bring him to the stage. Triple B Big Beard Business.
Whoa. What's poppin', my brother?
What's up, poppin'? Listen, man, I know the people don't know, but listen, man, y'all, I'm going to need y'all to put pressure on Big Beard real quick. I told him, listen, man, we need to have a weekly show once a week where we just pop shit, and I haven't figured out a name for it. Real quick, man, in the comments, put a name for what that channel will be. Don't say Black Men with Beards. I'm going to smack you. But anyway, man, let's talk about it real quick because I don't know how long this camera going to come up. What's some things you want to address, or I know you've been watching?
Yeah, man. So, listen, first of all, I got to say peace, my brother. You're the only person who could get me to come straight in the house and shapow.
That's what's up, man. Much love.
Yeah. So, yeah, man, I know you and I had a conversation, bro. Like, I know you wanted to tap in on this sponsorship. So I just want to make sure, the air is clear if anybody got any questions on that.
Yeah, well, let's all right. Well, we got you here. Let's go ahead and get to it. Let's go ahead and get to the fire. So I remember seeing a video. I don't know if you've seen it. And I mean, based on how I heard, it seemed like Jensen said he made your first fragrance, the coffee fragrance.
I heard that.
It had nothing to do with that. What you gotta say about that? Let's get to
it. So I heard that from like the comments, like my comments, like people writing that. So what I can tell you, what I did was I submitted my brief to the company, and the company sent me back fragrances. And I think that's no different than like a rapper getting a beat. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is what I want. And then the producer, whoever sends you a mix, that's what I got based upon what I sent. And they send you like, I can grab a box if you want to see it. It's like 80 fragrances in there.
Okay.
That's the one I picked. You want me to grab it?
No, man, you don't gotta do all that. Just talk to the people, man.
It's like 80 fragrances in there. I did not get a fragrance from Jensen. Now, is it possible that he wrote a brief and they sent it to him and he didn't want it? That's very possible. But no, man, I didn't like copy a Jensen's fragrance. I sent the brief. That's what they sent me back. Simple and plain.
Real quick, hold on one second. Darian, come on in. It's up there, man. It's a party, man.
He know how I go. What's up? What's
it's
up?
A Black Panther party. Come on in, bro. Come on in. The link's up there. Come on in, bro. Right, we got number time. Anytime you ready, come in. Because I don't know how long my camera gonna be on. My camera get the tripping around this time and get heating up. But even if I just gotta talk and we'll figure it out. Because if the pipe is hot, we gonna keep it hot, or we'll carry this on another day. But come on in, bro. Anyway, not to cut you off, go ahead. I know Darian want to pop on.
No, so that's really what it's all about, bro. Like, eat like that's not my thing. You know how I get down, but
right.
No, that wasn't it at all. I saw Jensen's at the airport after I guess I got those comments, but it wasn't that.
Change that tune. Tap dance, Mr. Bojangles.
No, that wasn't not like that. You know, he was respectful. He was cordial. He had his family with him. I was actually going to Knoxville to see one of my guys out there. He just got a promotion for $1 million position. So I had to go holler at him.
Big money. Talk that. All right, real quick, while we got you in here, since it might be future people and people talk about sponsorships, monies, affiliate links, y'all really get to it. You put me on the game. Me and you had conversations. That's our conversation. If you want to tap in on how that works, that's up to you. I don't speak for other people. So let's talk about viewers getting paid. I'm not at that level, but we've talked. But what do you got to say about that?
Yeah, so a few things. I want to start before I get into that. Like in my day-to-day, IRL, as the kids call it, in real life, like I have a multi-$100,000 position, right? So the people who work for me make $200,000. You know what I'm saying? So this part of it is the extras that come along with it. So when you look at it, these companies, the fragrance industry is a multi-billion-dollar industry. You understand? And I don't think a bottle of a fragrance that somebody's gonna go spend their hard-earned money for is worth it. For me to produce a video is $650 today versus the way it was before. So why am I produce a $650 video to promote your fragrance for you for nothing? It makes no sense. What I do say is I need to try the fragrances first. I need to make sure I like it. If I don't like it, I don't talk about it, and I don't need to talk about it because I have a IRL income. You know what I'm saying? Right. So that's the way it works. Like, don't nothing move me but me.
Big talk. Talk to him. Talk to him.
But me. I produce one video a week, bro.
Man, let me put you on the big love. Talk to the people.
Yeah, I produce one video a week, so I'm not out here like putting 5, 6. Like, this is not my full-time thing. I make sure that it produces, and for a lot of people, for what it makes, it would be a full-time income. But I'm out here multitasking, getting to it in multiple ways. I think that if we're out here putting it in because they didn't rock with you before you had to follow it, you got to tap in. They got to tap in. Like, there's people that I talk about and do things for because they rock with me before I had to follow it. Right? Like, people, like, I see people hit me up like, oh, you got them Parfum the Ball ain't never cut me no check. They sent me one fragrance. On all my videos, they sent me one fragrance. So I think people got it twisted, especially when it comes to African-American content creators. You don't have a lot of companies who are really digging deep to make sure that they show up.
Yeah. Darian said his Madam Bowtie said he's getting himself together. He coming on because man, the big 3 sound that sound good. We once a week vibe, but yeah, my camera about to go dead. But we're gonna still talk because I know Darian got some things to say. So I'm just gonna keep y'all on big screen. I'm not turning this off because I'm gonna let that cool off. I know it look crazy with me not being on camera, but I think because my brother's got something to say, I'm gonna let y'all do that. So we're gonna let Darian come on. As far as, and I'm just gonna put you on the big screen because it looked crazy with me not on the big screen. So we talked about that, right? This idea that everything is sent to us. I know for you, you paid for all of Mind Games, I believe. Maybe.
Yeah, I did. So I paid for the entire first collection twice because I lost it in the $30,000 of fragrances that went away. What I'll tell you is, I got the second one from them for free. Right? They sent it to me. They saw the first video. I guess they got some sales off of it. Like, hey, we want to work with you. I didn't charge them for it because I like their stuff. I like, listen, if it's going to save me spending this, then I'm going to do it. But also, I think what people fail to realize is this. Like, on all of my new videos, bro, like, I am taking money out of my pocket and buying people $400 or $500 fragrances. You know what I'm saying? So, like, I think people fail to see that. Like, I'm buying this. Like, he ain't sending it to me. Like, people are winning. Like, I'm going to Neiman Marcus or wherever you win, and I'm shipping it to you if I don't already have it. Like, if I didn't buy 2 bottles at that time, then I am going on the website, paying for it, and shipping it to you, right? Because back to what I said earlier, like, I got cheese. You know what I'm saying? I can make it work. So them sending bottles don't move me.
Now, I know there's been some other things in. All right, I'm gonna get my guy Bowtie. I'm gonna get y'all on the split screen, and because my camera's off, but y'all got to get on. So we're gonna come to the stage. We got my guy Darian, the Bowtie fragrance guy.
What up? What up?
What's up, my guy?
What's going on, my boy?
Ooh, look at him. Look at him.
What's good, fellas?
Yeah. What's
Big Beard, let me hold something, man. That's what I came on to ask. You ain't.
Oh man, whatever you need, baby. I got you. You know, say less.
I've been listening, man. Listen. EQ been watching these financial videos, and you just talked about your job. I just came on to ask y'all if I could hold something. That's all I wanted to ask.
Without a doubt, man. You don't need it. You don't need it. You don't need it. But if you did, you got my number. You know how it go.
I appreciate you, my guy.
Yes, sir.
EQ, what up, man? Where is it?
I wonder if his camera died, bro. He said his camera was dying. So now this the B&B show. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, the B&B show. You remember I had that idea. Don't tell nobody, man.
Yeah.
Like Chris Tucker say, don't tell nobody, man.
Mm-hmm.
How you been though, man?
Oh man, I can't call it, bro. I'm out here. I'm out here just trying to move around, trying to change the face of fragrance real quick, trying to do a few different things, bring some
there you go
to the world.
Moving and shaking.
I forgot when I removed myself from the thing because I just didn't want to see the screen. My voice wasn't heard, so I was talking and y'all wasn't coming through. That sounds crazy.
Man, I ain't hear nothing. We ain't hear nothing you said.
Yeah, but I'm gonna have a blank screen till my camera cool down. But I know a lot of things were said. I know y'all was watching the content, Darian, and you heard a lot of things. Anything you want to add with the misconceptions with fragrance reviewers, or even being a minority in the section? What you got for us?
You know, honestly, man, I caught some of it. I got on kind of late because you see my hat, right?
Yeah, watching the game.
I was watching this tonight. So shout out to my Celtics. But I heard some of the stuff that you were saying, man, and honestly, this kind of stuff really is like agitates me. You know, as long as I've been in this fragrance thing, like I've seen a lot of stuff that you talk about, and honestly, I really try to ignore it now because to me it's so idiotic. Because at the end of the day, most of the time when people are talking about whether it's getting a free bottle, whether it's some other reviewer that's upset about something, at the end of the day, I'm pretty sure if you just trace back and you go watch some of their videos, like people do the exact same stuff. And at the end of the day, man, I don't care what anybody says. A lot of times when people have something negative to say about anything pertaining to people with fragrances, whether it's a free bottle or whether it's the type of list that you're doing, it comes from a place of jealousy and hate. And that's just it at the end of the day. I don't care why people try to dress that up. Then that's what it is. You know what I'm saying? And I've always said that there's never going to be a man or a woman that's man or woman enough to tell you that the problem that they have with you is that they're jealous of you. So because, and I'm a person that likes to deal in truth. So we not gonna ever deal in the truth. Let's just not talk about it. You see what I'm saying? Because nobody is ever gonna be man enough or woman enough to say, I'm really saying all this stuff because I'm jealous of you. And it's that simple. It's that simple.
To your point, in EQ, you and I had this convo, Darren. You and I had this convo. Like I don't pay no mind, bro. Like I don't pay no mind. Listen, when I produce a video and there is a sponsored product in there, on the top left hand side, or maybe it's the right hand side, it's a banner that pop up and say that it says paid. It's a paid product within the video. Right. You know what I'm saying? So you getting it right then. I don't hide it from you. It's there. I tell you, it's there. It's in the box. The companies are reaching out because people have either said that they bought something because of you, and they just wanna go ahead and sprinkle in and get some of the sauce. You deserve a part of that. Right. People don't get mad at Shaq when he was producing when he was promoting for Buick. We all seen Pimp My Ride. We know Shaq ain't never took no Buick to Pimp My Ride, bro.
Yeah, so,
or for the general insurance.
Absolutely. Right. And my thing is, and I'm gonna have another question for both of you brothers, because I want to just hit some of the misconceptions so we can just end it. Like this stuff can stop, right? And Triple B, you said something that made a lot of sense, and you told me this early in the game. And you ain't the only one. Mr. Cologne put some gems out there for me, and it's like, when I had 1,000 subs, they wasn't hitting me up. Mm-hmm. They didn't care about me, right? So if I'm up 50K subs, they're hitting me because they want something from me. They aren't doing it because they're nice guys. So I should get some of that. Rather, if I'm okay with just getting a free bottle, so be it. But if I say this is what it is, then it is what it is, because yesterday's price isn't today's price.
Right.
Now, as far as, because I know I've seen this in places as far as, because I've seen these Robin Hood fake influencer videos where they want to act like they saving a community, but they're really not. If y'all want to address it, that's fine. But addressing reviewers actually getting monetized, like actually getting paid, what is that for? How does that work? If you want to touch on that, either one of y'all.
You said how do you get paid?
No, I'm talking just in general, the process of why we should get paid, or why not. When I say we, I'm not in that level. I'm not at I think levels change as things go up, but maybe like for you, I don't know. I'm gonna let you speak for you. If you get okay, send me this bottle and send me this money. If that happens, I don't know if that happens. I know that's been said in the community.
Yeah, listen, man. I get a game. I don't really care, So, like, if somebody is reaching out for me to promote a product for them, and I've done the research, I've checked them out, make sure they're a viable company. A lot of times, like most of the times, and people, I think Darren and I had this conversation with you, and I think I had it with you too, EQ. A lot of times, I will buy a fragrance from this person or this company in a private name that they don't know, just to make sure it all checks out before I even talk about it, right? And then they send me their product, whatever, and I make sure that I like whatever it is that they send it. From there, if you just want to know, I'll give you my rates. Like, hey, here's a whole rate sheet for this month. If you're looking for a shout out, if you wanted a Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, whatever it is, here's the prices, and you let me know what you want. A lot of times a company will say, if you could hit on these things, or they have their parameters because they want to talk about certain things, then you'll have some talking points there of like, hey, if you can keep it in safe, like we use no alcohol in this, all right? So you want to make sure that that's there because they feel proud of it. So you'll highlight that. But the rest of it, man, is really all on you in terms of what it is that you like, why you're talking about them, etc. And you don't have to take it. So if it's something that you like, no, I'm not with this, then it is what it is. And I think that some people think just because you're getting paid, that none of that due diligence was done. But in my case, I know in the case of Bowtie, that due diligence is done before we lock the deal.
Darren, you want to add on to that cipher?
Yeah, man, I agree with that. And the funny thing is, honestly, for me, a lot of times it's just a bottle. You know, I heard Big Beard talking about this. I work every day, just so y'all know. YouTube is not my life. You know what I'm saying? And again, I don't have any issue with anybody that's made YouTube their primary source of income, but it's not mine. I work every day. I coach my son's AAU basketball team. I got some acting stuff going on. So I have a whole lot of other things going on outside of YouTube. So honestly, you know, I don't rely on YouTube alone just for my monetary stability for me and my family. You know, so it's not that big a deal, honestly, to me. And I'm never going to talk about something that in my heart and soul, I don't feel like at least a decent fragrance for money. So if that's what you're looking for, you can forget about it. That's just not going to happen over here. And a lot of people, like I said, when the conversations start to arise, a lot of times people are upset because they're not getting a free bottle. Now, they will mask it as something else. They're going to make it about this whole big situation because I've seen the hypocrisy, you know, before where people try to act like, you know, they act like Robin Hood, like they're trying to save the community when they do the exact same thing. They've received a bottle before. And my thing, I'm thinking about a free bottle again. There's nothing wrong with getting a free bottle as long as you say, hey, they sent me this bottle and I'm going to give my honest opinion. And that's all it is at the end of the day. Most of the fragrances that I really love and I really hype don't have the fragrances I purchased my own money. And that's just the reality of it. You know what I'm saying? So I've never got anything that was sent to me that I did not think was a good fragrance and hyped it up just for money. That just has never happened. You know what I mean?
I'm gonna give you something here because the plot thickens, and I'm gonna make sure everyone's aware of this. A lot of like I do most of my stuff is not with the brands directly, right? I'm working with the companies that's either doing the distributing for them or like a Mancera or someone. I tell them what I want. You know,
right?
So I say, hey, this is what I want.
This is what I want. Yeah.
Yeah, so it's never like they just like, oh, this is what it is. And you're gonna talk about this, go shuck and jive. It don't work like that.
But did you see? But but honestly, that's what contributes to the problem so much, because what happens where a lot of this commentary comes from is it's a lot of these peons. They're listening to these people that are upset and jealous about whatever they upset or jealous about as pertains to fragrances. I don't even have time to be upset about anything going on in the fragrance community in my life. But they're listening to them. It's a lot of people that has never dealt with a company before. So they're the ones that's doing all the talking and they don't know what they're talking about. You see what I'm saying? And that's what the main problem is. You're getting a lot of these people that have no clue. They never dealt with a company. And so they have no knowledge of how this thing really works. And then they want to get on in the comment section and talk about things that they have no knowledge about. So that's spreading a lot of the misinformation, that a lot of people that I can tell when somebody's been to one of these haters channels, you know what I'm saying? They heard something, now they want to take it and run. That's why I hate that term shield, because people just take that, they don't even know nothing about it, they take it and run with it. It's irritating, to be honest with you, but it's people that don't have a clue what they're talking about.
Hey, I want to address two things, EQ, if that's possible. So somebody asked, do I promote a fragrance that I'm not getting paid for? I don't know if it was just
don't put that up there.
All right. I do that every video, almost every video.
Right.
Like if I'm doing a top 10, you got a mix of fragrances in there. I'm not getting paid to promote all of them. I'm buying a ton of fragrances. I'm not getting paid to promote them. Listen, EQ, you and I just talked about what's the dude name? What's the dude name out of Atlanta?
Chris Classic.
Chris Classic, right? Savoir Faire, right? I haven't talked about his product yet, but I purchased it. I purchased it twice. You know what I'm saying? So that's where the ultimate support comes in, and I'm gonna talk about it, and I'm not getting paid to talk about it, right? I've done that for years of talking about people's fragrances and not getting paid to talk about it. Here's where you get paid to talk about it, or where I would suggest if you're in this game, and I think like every other industry has done this. The makeup people do it, the shoe reviewers do it, clothing guys do it, the lifestyle people do it. Where you should be getting paid, in my opinion, is if I'm directing you to a specific site to purchase that fragrance. So if I'm saying, hey, you should go and buy it at, because I used to work with Saks, right? If I say you should go buy it from Saks instead of Neiman Marcus, I should get paid for that.
Sure.
Right? If I'm and again, it has nothing to do with the fragrance because I am choosing the fragrance that I want to talk about. The other side of that is on the fragrance beef. There's no fragrance beef here. I be in my own lane, bro. I don't watch people's stuff, but I feel like you got to address it. And it's a lot going on in the rap world right now, so I feel some type of way. All right. And I'm gonna address it this way. You've never seen me talk about somebody till even right now. Nobody, you never see me talk about them. You will never see me talk about them. But what I'll say is I do my thing. I'm very transparent. I'm buying everything for my subscribers out of my own pocket. And hey, maybe the sponsorships help with that because I got a bag. I'm sharing the bag with you. You know what I'm saying? So it's nothing's hidden over here. Like you know exactly what you're getting. I'm keeping 100 with you, and I'm gonna continue to do that. So it is what it is.
Darian, I'm gonna let you pop in, but I'm also gonna bring Ross on, who's in the background, who wants to join us. So I'm gonna allow him. Our viewers the best. But Darian, as I add Ross into, why aren't you on the screen, bro? Hold on 1 second. I'm trying to figure
Where is he?
I'm trying to figure out why he.
What up?
All right,
TLTG.
What's up, gentlemen?
What's up, bro?
It's good to see you both. Darian, it's the first time we get to share a screen together, my man.
Yeah, man. What's good with you, bro?
Oh, man. I just listening to a great conversation and being that you two gentlemen, as well as EQ, are multifaceted and always busy, I figured it'd be nice to add the perspective of someone whose life is YouTube.
Okay, yeah, that's what's up.
Do it.
Real quick, let me get Darian to answer that question, Ross, and then I'll have you answer it because I want to get to some things because the people want to hear from all of us. And we're going to put facts out here, no more fiction. So, Darian, you got the floor as far as being promoted to if you want to address that question.
The reality is that I don't even look at this. This is a true love and passion for me talking about fragrances. And honestly, for as busy as I am with other things, that's proof that this is something I love to do because my time is really, really limited. So anything that I don't really have love and passion for right now in my life, I don't have time for it. So I make the time to talk about fragrances because it's something I love. So everything that I talk about is a passion, but by the same token, because just to the sheer nature of what YouTube is promoting to an extent. You understand what I'm saying? Absolutely. But at the end of the day, I would say 97% of my collection, I paid for it. So I don't really, it's not like a strong word. I really don't even really want any more fragrances, really, to be honest with you, because I have so many. And now I'm starting to kind of have that remorse. It's like, dang, I can't wear all of this stuff. You know, so I'm not pressed to get a free bottle, man. I'm not going to talk highly about a fragrance that I don't really like just for a bottle because I don't need a fragrance. Trust me, guys, I don't need another fragrance. So do I promote stuff that, what's it say? Would you promote a fragrance that you love, that you did get? I do it all the time. 99% of the time I'm talking on camera, I'm promoting something that I did not get paid to talk about, other than my ad revenue that comes from YouTube. And that's just the reality of it, because I paid for the majority of the stuff myself. So again, I think that's a very, very, kind of straightforward way to answer that question, because any of us that turn on that camera, most of us, like EQ said, 95, 99% of the stuff that in his collection, he bought himself. So I'm promoting something, even if I don't look at it in my mind as promoting, I'm promoting something that I love because I sure didn't get paid specifically by a company to talk about the fragrances. So
and that's why I wanted it out here. And Ross, I'm gonna give you the floor here in a minute. Because you do bring a different perspective into it. So I definitely want to hit it. But like I I've been following Big for a while, and Darian, I've been following you since you've been in the backyard with all that noise, doing fragrances.
Yeah, man. They were working on my house, man.
And loud audio, you know what I'm saying? But
by that little skinny ass tree.
Yeah, they was working on my house, man.
This misconception that everybody gets everything is crazy. But before we, Ross, I'm gonna go ahead and give you the floor to answer the same question and whatever else you want to add on. Go ahead, brother.
So to add on to what Darren was just saying, how lucky are these brands that we sit here and talk about a fragrance we love when, like you said, 99% of the time is stuff we bought anyway. It's free advertising for them. Like you touched on earlier, this is an advertising platform. It may not have started that way, but boy, when Google bought it, they were hip to the game and they made it an advertising platform. It's just what it is. And I've said this till I'm blue in the face, it feels like sometimes, but I haven't said it on this platform. You can make a living doing this, being full-time, talking about fragrances on the internet and be straight with people. You just got to work with the right companies that are okay with that understand who they're dealing with, and you have to not budge on the way you operate. You don't negotiate the way you operate. They do. And that's just the moral of the story. It has to be that, because I can only speak for myself. I can't speak for any other fragrance content creator out there on any other platform, how they operate, what they are and are not willing to do. But at the end of the day, you got to be able to sleep with yourself. And some people don't have that moral compass. But if you do, your integrity can't be for sale. There are ways to go about this. There's ways to it, because the long game is in the engagement with your audience. More than any quick buck you can make from any sponsored video, from any affiliate commission. The long game, the longevity in this is the engagement and trust of your audience. That is number one. If that's not the central focus, if you're going to do this full time, it's not going to work. You might be successful for a little while, but it's not going to hold long term. I mean, Buck, you've been doing this for how many years now?
Yeah, seven.
Long
years.
time. I mean, I've been watching you since the beginning. One of the reasons I tossed the box is because you always said fuck the box. And, I tossed the box. I won't bite you completely, but it's I've been doing it since the beginning.
Real quick,
that's the point. People are influential, and you need to be able to trust what they're saying. And at the end of the day, you're only going to go with an opinion that A, is kind of similar to yours, and B, is somebody that you flat out like, somebody you'd want to hang out with, be friends with, have a beer with, talk fragrance with at work, something like that. If you're not that guy for that person, it's irrelevant what you're saying anyway.
Right.
Real quick, I got a question for you, brothers, because man, I had it on the tip of my tongue. I think I might have forgot it. It was in reference to because I see this come up. I've seen this on a couple of Robin Hood videos. I'm gonna call them Robin Hoods because I'm obviously the name enough. Have there been companies that have personally reached out to you and said, I need you to say this, read this, and that's it?
No,
I need a positive review. Has there ever happened to you? I'm gonna start with, so we ain't talking on each other. I'm gonna start with Triple. I'm gonna go to Darian, and I go to you, Ross. B, has there been a company that's ever reached out to you and said, this is what it is, I need you to say this, and it needs to be positive?
No. So again, like I say, I need to try it first. So regardless of what you say you want me to say, I need to try it first. I think the only thing, the closest thing to that was what is it called? Santa Lucia, right? They needed very specific things in each of those fragrances to line up with the every day gets closer, whatever the three names of the fragrances were. They needed specific points for all those things to tie back together. But how it smells, how I feel about it, that was all me. The rest of everything else is pretty much, they just want certain things. For instance, I talk about Angel Share so much. Kilian reached out and said, hey, can you talk about Smoking Hot when it comes out? Send it to me first. Let me try it. I tried it. I liked it. Let's talk. They wanted me to tell you to go to Bergdorf to buy it because that's where the event was. But it's stuff like that. Not like, hey, I love this fragrance, but I have to like it first. If I don't like it first, then forget you.
Right.
I forgot it's not my platform.
I'm ready with his buzzer.
I always say it. Yeah, but that's how it goes. I have to like it first. And if I don't like it first, then there's no more discussion.
Darian, what you got in reference to that question?
That honestly, that has never happened. Like Beard is saying, sometimes there are certain aspects of a fragrance a company may want you to mention. But for the most part, a lot of the fragrances that I get that are sent to me again are by like Twisted Lily, and it's something that I've chosen that I'm interested in getting. So when I get the fragrance, it's sincerely because Twisted Lily doesn't care. Honestly, at the end of the day, if you talk extremely positive or negative about a fragrance, they just want you to talk about Twisted Lily and say, hey, I got it from Twisted Lily, go check it out. So it's never about, hey, you gotta say this fragrance is great. And the ones that I've gotten from companies specifically, this has been my experience. Like I've gotten sent a couple of fragrances from Amouage. The dialogue is usually via email or via Instagram, and they'll say like, hey, we sent you a gift. This is our new fragrance. I hope you enjoy. And it's that simple. There's never any type of dialogue about you gotta say this, you gotta say that. And if I get a fragrance and I say something that they don't like and they don't send me another fragrance, like I told you again, I don't need another fragrance. I'm cool. You know what I'm saying? But I'm a fan of the brand. And obviously, you know, if they say this is a new one and I don't have to pay my hard-earned money for it, and I was interested in trying it anyway, they sent it to me, great. When I talk about it, I'm gonna tell you exactly what I think about the fragrance. If I say something that a company does not like and it upsets them, and they get and their next fragrance comes out and they don't want to send it to me, I'm cool, because if I want it, I'll buy it myself. And it's that simple. So I've never had a company say, I want you to say this, I want you to say this, and I want you to say that about the fragrance, because I would never go along with that. Because if I don't like it, my integrity is not for sale. And that's just the bottom line to it, because I don't need a fragrance. I can buy any fragrance, and I'm not trying to be cocky, but any fragrance I want, I have the funds and the means to purchase it myself. So I don't need them to send me anything. So, and that's just real talk.
Absolutely. Ross, you want to tackle that question?
Key phrase: integrity is not for sale. Thank you for saying that, Darren. You beat me.
Absolutely.
I say that all the time. That is not for sale. It's not worth it. There's no dollar amount. It goes back to what I was saying about the longevities and the trust in your audience. One particular company, and I'll never forget, and that's why I told him to please not email me moving forward, was Cremo. A few years ago, they hit me with an agreement with bullet points of things they wanted me to, and which I had worked with them previously, and this was never a thing. There was never a written agreement that they sent. There was never talking points. It was, hey, we'd love to send you something. You want to check them out? Sure, as long as you're okay with me doing my thing. Absolutely. That's my usual thing. I won't budge. You got to be cool with my natural flow. I'm one take Jake. I say as it comes to me. I'd get mad if I ever have to re-record something with myself, which is rare. But I'll never forget that, because that's the moment I swore off Cremo. I don't wear their fragrances. I won't buy their fragrances because I felt disrespected, because you just don't understand who I want to be with my audience and who I am personally, if you feel like that was okay. Because it wasn't just it's made with this, or like some of the examples B was given earlier. It was nothing innocent like that. It was like, say this about it. It does this, say this. Because it's not a bunch of times, but it's a glaring example that I wanted to share. That's why I was nodding my head yes, because I'll never forget it, because it was perspective. I'm glad that happened, because you want to come across something like that, because you want to see that there are companies like that out there. Not all of them are genuinely there for a real review and want honest feedback. They just want a commercial. Yeah. Cremo wanted a commercial. And though I'm passionate, and I come off as a sales pitch because of my passion. I've been called a shill 10 ways to Sunday. Okay.
Oh, you too?
Yeah, every day of my life, I can call that somebody. It's just the way I am. When I'm into something, you can tell I'm really into something. When I'm not feeling it, you can tell I'm really not feeling it. I'm going to start cracking some jokes and entertaining myself with it. But it's something that, like Darren was saying earlier about that word shill getting misused. Like I said, I hear it all the time.
They don't know what they're talking about, man.
No, they don't even know the actual Urban Dictionary definition of it. Real quick. It's lying about the income you're making on the back end, you know.
So somebody asked this question, and we get to it. We don't duck fades out here. So somebody said,
I'm glad you pulled it, because I was going to ask you to address it.
Yeah. Go ahead.
I just searched the email, and I'm going to show it to you. It says, "Hi, Buck. It's been a while. How's it going? I was wondering if you had a chance to finish your final verdict for S-Boy, because I told him I needed to try it first. We're launching the Christmas sale campaign on December 15th and wanted to have your video up for the end of the month if possible. All right. Let me cover up the person's name. If I don't like it, I'm not talking about it. You see what I'm saying? Like, if I don't like it, I'm not talking about it. And he has a good fragrance. The fragrance smells good to me. Like, I think people, because of how it's been presented and how people feel about it, they're giving it backlash. But to me, the fragrance smells good. In fact, I got a couple bottles.
Well, Darian, you want to go ahead and address that, because it was just acting.
What did I just say? When companies send you something, it is never about say this or say that or say this or say that. That's usually about how the dialogue goes about getting the video out, because at the end of the day, I know you guys have heard the term, all publicity at the end of the day is good publicity. Even if you may not particularly care for something, companies have it's very simple logic, guys. Niche companies understand that fragrance reviewers, whatever you want to call people, whatever label you want to give to a fragrance reviewer, influencer, whatever, they understand that we have an audience of people that are crazy enough, just like us, to really be so interested in fragrances that they watch people talk about fragrances on YouTube. So they say to themselves, this is probably a good market of people, because they would probably do better having me talk about a fragrance, whether I say it's great or not. They would probably do better with me talking about a fragrance on my channel with my 100-some-odd-thousand subscribers and putting it on a commercial. Because how many of those people really are into fragrances like that? I have a group of 100,000 that at some point in time in their life was very into fragrances. So it's just smart business at the end of the day. But again, a lot of the misinformation comes from people that have no knowledge about how this thing really works. And then they take that information, the misinformation, and they run with it. You know what I'm saying? If you watch the video I did for S-Boy, my Draco, me and my wife, I never smelled them like, oh my God, this is the. I just told you what my opinion of the fragrance is and what I smell and how I smell. I say it was a pretty good fragrance. I didn't say it was the best thing I've ever smelled. So it's not overdoing it. And just because the next person doesn't think that something smells good, this is my nose. You see what I'm saying? So people like to take the misinformation. It creates all of the chaos that usually ensues in the fragrance community. And I think it's just crazy, because at the end of the day, I always say this: I will never let a naked man sell me clothes, because he can't tell me nothing about tailoring a suit. So a lot of people are listening to a lot of naked men talk about fragrances and how things go as it pertains to the relationship of a fragrance reviewer and a company, and they've never had an interaction. So it makes no sense that you would listen to somebody that has no knowledge about how this stuff works and take that information and run with it. That's my opinion.
Ross, you want to add on to that?
I echo the sentiment. It was nothing crazy when they reached out to me. I haven't heard back ever since I, kind of stayed on how I felt it was overpriced. It smells pretty good, but I feel like it's an $80 designer. And it smells similar to other things, but again, it smells really good. My wife enjoys the way it smells. But yeah, I never heard back from them. I figured when they saw that I was talking about how overpriced of a synthetic designer it was, they didn't like that. But it is what it is. It's marketed a certain way by certain people. Go on, do your thing, get your bag, however it's working for you. But what it's being sold as, so many other fragrances that cost less can do the exact same thing, because the God's honest truth is, if you're seeking compliments from the opposite sex, your fragrance isn't the most important thing, right?
Oh yeah. So hold on. I got
your charisma, the appeal, your overall presentation. That's cherry on top. So
I got a couple things.
Let's get into that.
I got a couple things because I know Darian gonna love this one.
I want to get into that
because I'm making notes real quick while I got everybody. This might be a 3-hour live. It is what it is. Real quick, because I've seen it echo before. So we're gonna try to address all the rumors I can in this live, and if we gotta come back, we'll coordinate that. Because what I found on StreamYard is, and I was telling Buck this when I had a conversation, is if we know we're gonna all do this, StreamYard has a feature, and I believe I can give y'all links that y'all can also post on y'all platform. So this can also be live on your platform, so you can reap the benefits of that as well. So
you can multi-stream,
we can multi-stream, so we can do that too. But let me get on with it, because I've seen it echoed. So I'm gonna talk, because this doesn't happen to me. I don't get free bottles. So have any of these companies ever reached out to you, and again, Buck, Darian, then Ross, that they say this fragrance must be in a top 10 list? Because I've seen it echoed by people who don't know shit. So let's just address that. Buck, has any company ever reached out to you that is giving you a bottle who says, can it make it into a top 10 list?
No, never. Not one time.
Yeah, that's a simple question.
I can't think of that. No, the only thing close to that is I told S-Boy team that I was putting S-Boy by Draco in the 10 fragrances for life in real life, because it was only one of the 10 fragrances I had. So I said, hey, so you know this fragrance is going into this. So you have an idea. But it was never like hey, can you put this in there for us? But I never had anybody do that.
What about you, Darian?
Once again, it's idiotic talk. Because if you know from my experience, a company would probably prefer you spend more time on their video with just their fragrance. So they wouldn't prefer you to put it in a list, because obviously the fragrance isn't going to get as much attention, because obviously if it's on the top 10, there's 9 other fragrances that's competing with it for its attention in a list. So they would probably prefer you to do a standalone video. So most of the time if a company hits you up, even if it's not fragrance, right, they say, well, what is it for at least maybe a 90-second integration? Because they know it would probably cost more, or I would charge you more if I were getting paid to do a full video. So most companies would probably prefer you to talk just about their fragrance in a standalone. That doesn't even make any kind of sense. But once again, if you want to let a naked man continue to sell you clothes, you go right ahead. And you see how bad you're going to be looking out there on the streets. That's all I got to say. Straight up.
Ross, what you got?
I'm glad I joined, because time to bury another company. So, Blue Atlas, after I did the Atlantis review, they didn't reach out not too long after, offering rates to put it #1 in some lists. That was the last time I spoke to them, because no, I don't do that. I explained to them that when it comes to topics, it's got to fit the topic. I'm not just putting random things in there. I don't do things like that. I was a little offended, but I know this kind of stuff does happen, and clearly it hasn't happened to you gentlemen, but I'm kind of glad I joined, because both of these kind of controversial topics so far, I've had an example for. So yeah, Blue Atlas did do that. That's one of the reasons I haven't reviewed their newest fragrance, because I'm not interested. They reached out. I'm not interested.
Everybody has a different story, people. So I'm asking all the questions that matter to people. I know one is a super chat. EQ fellas, have you tried anything from Christian Provenzano's signature line? For me, I have not. I can't speak for anybody else, but I have not.
I never heard of it, so no.
I haven't.
Answer is no. Thanks for the super chat. And I'm trying to think. I don't think there's really much more questions off top of the head of controversial topics I can think of. I feel like I was about to write down something.
Ross brought one up.
Go ahead.
Ross brought one up.
Talk to it.
They all compliments and compliment.
Oh yes. That's
always total package.
That's always.
That's why I said Darian's gonna like this. Darian, I'm gonna let you start this off.
The most dapper SOB here, by all means.
Thank you so much, because people always that's always been like a issue. I'm gonna say this one time, and I'm so glad we have this audience right now. I'm gonna say this one last time. Because don't make your reality someone else's reality. And I see a lot of guys that try to do that, right? I saw a guy, I believe, a comment on somebody's video one time that, yeah, man, because I've been wearing fragrances for all these years and I've gotten 2 compliments. That's crazy to me, right?
Mm.
But at the same time, he don't have an avatar. So what is that saying about what he probably looked like? You know, I will say this. People, your audience gravitates to people that they rock with, that they can vibe with. I think Ross said this earlier, people that they genuinely probably like. I like his presentation. I like the way he carries himself, that kind of stuff. And most of the guys that follow me, we don't need a disclaimer about like a panty dropper video because they understand, and I don't really have to act like I'm talking to a third grader and say, hey man, well, I just want to make sure you understand that really the panties are not really going to drop just because you put this fragrance on. Like, don't put it on and go stand beside a girl and sit there and look around and wait for a panty, because that's not, we don't have to give that disclaimer. You know what I mean? We don't have to give those type of disclaimers. And because those people that follow me, that kind of have the same simple mindset and swag that I have, already understand this is a title. You can say panty droppers, you can say sexy, you can say date not close encounter fragrance. They all really mean the same thing. The title is going to attract a bigger audience of people. And I hate when people act like they don't understand what that's about. You see what I'm saying? But it kind of goes back to that Robin Hood thing. All these people try to act like they are so innocent in regards to certain things, and they're really not, because they're doing the same stuff. You know what I mean? Like, I hate when a person will say like, well, I can't stand panty dropper videos, and then they'll say the 10 things I hate about panty dropper videos. You're doing the same thing, Doc. You're using the word panty dropper to get a bigger audience of people to watch this video. You see what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
So once again, there's a hypocrisy. And back to the compliment thing, listen, you can wear a fragrance that out of 25 people, 24 people give it a 10 out of 10. But if you look like trash, if you corny, if you don't get your hair cut, if you don't got no swag, if you're not approachable, you're still not going to get a compliment. So what you're saying to people is, when you say you don't get compliments and we can't see your avatar, you just really telling us what you look like. You just really telling us you don't really have no swag. You just really telling us that you don't get outside, because if you present yourself well and you're a decent looking guy and you work out and you dress nice and you smell good and you're out around people, you're probably going to get compliments. So really, you just really telling on yourself and the imbecile and the incel that you really are. And that's just the reality of it.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? Now, I really don't want to have to address this ever again. But I know we're probably going to have to. But I'm getting tired of that, man. Don't make my reality your reality, man. You might not get compliments, but that's telling me a lot about you.
If anybody, I think he dropped the hammer. Anybody else got anything? I think I'm good on that.
Speak on it.
Yeah.
Anybody want to speak on that? Great.
I think he's accurate in everything he just said. You know, true words have never been spoken. The bow tie has spoken.
Yeah.
I mean, that's it.
I totally agree. Now, there's a super chat. I'm going to hold on. Okay, there it is. It's moving a little slow. Super chat, because it's a super chat, I'm going to address it. I think I'm going to speak for everybody, but I never want to speak for another man. So let me put it up there. Everything's working a little slow. Okay. So does anybody believe S-Boy is the best date night fragrance Curly ever smelt with all her access to frags? Let me get on this. Let me jump. Let me big screen myself. I don't speak for these other men, but I think I know what cloth they are cut from. I don't sit around thinking about what other people think. I like dealing in facts and things that can be proven. I don't sit around thinking if Darian likes whatever fragrance he's talking about, because the reality is fragrance is subjective. It's not what's 2 + 2 = 4. What Curly thinks, I don't even know her as a person. Never spoken to her, never met her in real life, never talked on the phone, never built. I don't, and honestly, I know her content. I don't really watch it like that, me personally, because it's like Jeremy fragrance. It doesn't really appeal to me. it doesn't really, and we don't really have a personal or kind of relationship. So it's just not my cup of tea, and I move on. That's not hate. It's just not my thing, right? But sitting around thinking what she thinks, maybe she do, maybe she don't. I don't know. So I speak on facts, not feelings, and I don't sit around dwelling on that. Now, I'll let the other men speak, but where I'm from and how I grew up, I don't go around thinking about shit like that. That's me. I don't want to speak to other men.
Yeah, so let me touch on that. I said this earlier, I'm gonna say it again. You will never hear me talk negatively about another fragrance reviewer. It takes a lot of everything to hop on camera and do this. And I think she's great at what she does. She appeals to her audience. In terms of if it's the best day night fragrance she's ever smelled, I can't speak to that. I can tell you it's not the best day night fragrance that I've ever smelled, but it is a good fragrance in my opinion. So that's that. I'm gonna leave it at that. I can't speak on what she smelled. And if she says she like it, then I'm gonna have to assume that she like it.
Darian, you want to add to that if you want to address it?
I mean, I think you pretty much kind of put a bow on that question. I mean, how am I supposed to know? You know what I'm saying? Like, I will say that I think that she has a particular audience, and she knows what her audience likes to hear, and she caters to that. I mean, and like I said, at the end of the day, listen, I'm not hating on what anybody else is doing. As long as you're doing this thing and you're doing it, with passion behind it, and you're doing it honest and that kind of stuff from the standpoint of, talking about things that you really, really love. You know what I mean? It is what it is. I really could care less. But, that would be a hard question to answer because I really don't know, what I'm saying? No disrespect to. I don't watch a whole lot of, I don't have time to watch a whole lot of other people's content. So I haven't seen that much of it. So I really don't know. You know what I mean? But I will say, like I said, I know she has a particular audience and she caters to her audience and they seem to love her. So, props to her.
Absolutely. Ross, you got anything to add to that?
Part of me, Michelle is cool, by the way. I haven't talked to her in a while, but she's cool. I want to believe it's Spice Bomb Extreme from her early content. I want to believe that. But who knows? She may really love that one. I don't know. But moral of the story, make your paper boo-boo. Keep doing your thing. She's killing it. More power to her. Like I said, Michelle is cool. I'm happy for her. Can I do what she does? Absolutely not. I cannot. But I don't knock her for it because I'll be honest with you, man. If I was her, I'd go about it probably the same way. It works for her. She's appealing. She's entertaining. She's funny. She's charming. And it works. Go ahead with yourself, girl.
Madam, your wife said we need to do this more often. Listen, man, I want to do it, especially now that I know that StreamYard it's just scheduling kind of people. But StreamYard that I can put it on everybody's channel. So everybody can reap the benefits of watch views and everything that comes with it. So, I mean, the wife has spoken. I don't know.
I wonder what the live viewer number would be if it was live on all 4 channels simultaneously. Yeah, because I'm sure it would show a total number for you as the main host.
We'll see. I mean, we have to talk about that. Let's get to another question, and we're gonna wrap it up here shortly, because we're about to go on close to 3 hours. But I'm cool. I'm good. Nice chat, fellas. Glad to see it. All right, that was one. Let me see. That really wasn't more of a question. All right, somebody. It's a fragrance question, so no more. Let's get out the drama real quick. Fragrance bond number 9. Fragrance. Each one of you, if you have one. I'm going to let the guest always go first, and then I'll name mine. Big Beard. Starting with, it'd always be Big Beard, Darian, and then TLTG.
Lafayette Street is my favorite as of right now. Like I think that's the one I've covered the most. I wear that one the most out of the ones that I have. So I would go with Lafayette Street. It's clean, pretty much all around compliment monster.
Darian, what you got?
Yeah, I honestly go back and forth between Lafayette Street and Bleecker Street. Man, Bleecker Street is so nostalgic. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? But Lafayette Street is just, and honestly, a lot of times I see myself with a lot of houses like this. It's like the one that is most versatile and I can wear in the most scenarios. And I know I'm gonna throw this on, and I'm gonna probably be one of the best smelling dudes, you know, in whatever environment I go into. And honestly, that Lafayette Street is kind of that fragrance. So it came in after Bleecker Street, but I kind of go back and forth between those two, Lafayette and Bleecker from Bond.
Ross,
one of my favorite twists and manipulations of the Aventus DNA would be bondnumber9.com.
Yeah.
I love bondnumber9.com. I believe it's long discontinued at this point, but anybody that hasn't had an opportunity, I know it gets like nauseating at this point with everybody's version of Aventus. And Bond number 9's got a few, Centerpiece being another one. But man, if you want a true, just amazing fruity twist without the smoke, without the deep musk, if you can try bondnumber9.com, do yourself that favor.
Don't you get this smoothness from it? Like I just get this.
I knew you'd light up because guess who's the first person ever told me about that?
I love
it. Years ago.
Yeah, so I think I'm going to echo that sentiment. I don't have now. I'm gonna be honest. I don't have a lot of experience with the house. I have New York Oud is what I own, and I own bondnumber9.com. I've smelt. I know Lafayette Street. I smelt it. Now a lot of people going to say it's similar to fragrances like Dunhill. Similar to fragrances like the Ferrari fragrance, Ferrari Gold or something like that. Yeah, but it's better because you can smell the materials in it. I think Lafayette is amazing. I don't own it just because of what I own. I would just be getting it, and I'm kind of really strategic on how I buy things. Just because it just makes sense to me. But I would say bondnumber9.com. I would go with that as well. That would be my go-to for that list.
You got 3 people that got excited to speak on that out of 4, guys. That should tell y'all a lot.
Let me see. This was a great live to the panel. Rock for a minute. Stay blessed. Are you not entertained? Everybody's loving the live, man. I mean, we got to chop it up more. As I told Beard when I was rapping to him, is just trying to schedule in as well as having some sort of format. I like format. I think it makes everything run smoother. Or having a topic, like a really good podcast. I think instead of just rambling. So this was a topic. I think it works. We're gonna ask some few more questions and we can go and get up out of here because people got things to do. But I appreciate everybody spending time, especially my guests, for popping on. Wrong amount. Last one. Great discussion. I don't know what that pertaining to, but I appreciate the super chat. Let me just see if I have another. If y'all see a good question, if you're looking at it, by all means, if you see one, we can address it. But I think
I saw one. It said like this fragrance community support each other or something like that.
Yeah, it was about content creators, or is it dog eat dog? I saw that.
Yeah. That's what it said. I think I'm gonna give you my take on it. I think it's just like anything else. There will be people that you naturally have things in common with. There are people that you talk to. I don't me, Triple B, Buck. I don't have a disdain or distaste for anyone in Fragcom. I say this a million times. Most of the times, I'm not even checking it out. But there are people that you rock with, right? That you don't. There's no obligation there. It's because if they need anything, you support what they're doing. Like EQ got my number, right? He called me. Ross, you should have my number. We need to make sure that happens.
Yeah.
Darian got my number, right? So when it's something, they can hit me. And I'm sure everyone has that same type of vibe with their people. With early on, I think Gent Sense and Imagine Sense and man, what was his name? Was
Manny, Timmy, and Ashton? It was
they rock, right? They rock. They solid. So just because we like the same thing, it doesn't mean that we will always like everything the same. So these are my guys. I support them. On Red Lessons, he got my number, right? When it's something, he needs something, I got him, he got me. So I think that it's not like it's a negative thing. Everyone's in their own space. At the end of the day, it's a competitive piece too, right? Everyone's wanting to make sure they produce the best content. And sometimes that requires you to be locked in. You got to be dialed in. You got to make sure that your views and opinions aren't shrouded or jaded with that. But I don't think it's a dog eat dog world. I think everybody is doing their own thing. You get in where you fit in.
Darian, you got anything to add to that?
No, I honestly, man, I agree 100% with what he said. I think I don't have any discontent for anybody personally that does fragrance content that I've come across since I've been doing this. You know what I mean? But I think there's just naturally, just like, you know, we naturally have a certain audience that gravitates to certain fragrance reviewers. You know, just think as human beings, we have certain people that we actually form more of a real type, you know, relationship or bond outside of just, you know, the core of everybody that does fragrance reviews that people normally, you know, say typically watch. You know, like Big Beard is saying, like, you know, anybody that has ever reached out to me for like any advice or assistance of any kind, I've been helpful to them. And it wasn't, like I said, it wasn't a person like Big Beard or Equality or something like that. I've actually had, you know, like a one-on-one personal conversation with or interacted with on a one-on-one on a YouTube video like we have. But there's just naturally people that you gravitate to, like, you know, Big Beard, again, EQ. I've talked to Coach Rob a few times over the phone, and me and him chop it up sometimes, although we've never done a live, we plan on doing it. But I think it's just naturally you gravitate more to certain people where you have more of a personal type of relationship with. But I support from afar everybody and what they're doing, you know, even though we may not have those personal interactions per se. I have no hate to anybody.
Hey, before we go to Ross, can I add into what Bowtie said?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
So, I used to have my Pew Pew channel, right? Big Bang Business, and I was at an event, like a meet and greet event, and the guy came to me. He like, listen, man, I know you from fragrance, and I thought you was going to be a jerk, but seeing you in person, he said he used to hate me. He was like, but being able to talk to you in person, man, like I realized you're a genuine dude, and I really like that. There's been other people that I've met as fragrance reviewers, and they were like, man, I thought you were going to be a jerk. I'm not sure why, but they're like, you know what? I like you now. And I think there's some of that too, where you might think our personalities won't jive because I'm loud or might be more aggressive in conversation than you. But at the end of the day, that's just how I rock and how I get down. But for me, it's no hate, no animosity. And I think Bowtie said the same thing.
Absolutely.
I'm puzzled.
I was puzzled too.
Who thought you were a dick or a jerk? What?
Listen,
anyways, if anything, I get that I must be a dick. You know, I get that all the time. Then they meet me and they're like, oh, I never mind. But anyways, point being, no, it's you just jive with certain people and certain personalities, similar interests. It's the same thing. Most people are good, just like most fragrances are pretty good. Now, I don't mean that for everyone that, you know, all the keyboard warriors, the most gangster dudes on the world or on the internet. I don't mean them. I mean people that actually interact with one another face to face, like such as we're doing this evening. You just gravitate to certain personalities is what it is. It's not really as cliquey as people might want to believe it to be, to make it more tribalistic than it actually is. But as B touched on, it's still competitive at the end of the day. But based on what we do, it's really not so much as competing with one another because we're all sharing an audience. Some touch different segments more than others, like the ladies touch more of a segment that won't take, you know, aren't interested in what a guy thinks about the fragrance and so on. Like there's different segments to the same overall audience. Where was I going with this? I lost my train of thought. My apologies. I lost it.
The click.
Hey, well, I got something while you think about it. Let
me go to you.
Go ahead. Right, I'm sorry. Listen, because I know this came up earlier, right? So we talk about different personality types. So I mentioned like I saw like people. You asked me the question about Jensen's earlier today, right? I saw Jensen's at the airport with his family. We had a great conversation. We stopped collectively. We chatted. I met his wife. I met his kids. They were just coming back from Japan. We all interacted. He went and made a post about that discussion, that conversation. But if you were to just leave it at the video, whatever that happened there, you would never know that interaction occurred and there's no trouble. So people come on there all the time on TikTok like, oh, I saw this, and you guys hate each other. I don't hate nobody, and I'm assuming whatever it came from a competitive place. You know what I'm saying? But it wasn't that in person. In person, it was lovey-dovey. Here's my family, like here it is. So I don't think there's really none of that other stuff going on when you in that space.
I got something to add, and I remember what I forgot, by the way, because at the end of the day, you're only competitive with who you're looking at in the mirror. You just got to figure out how to be a better you the next day. That's how I operate. But as far as Ashton, we had a real beef for years. EQ, you know this. A lot of people know this. It's not a secret at this point. We had a real beef. Me, him, and George Atkinson, the Fragrance Apprentice. Them two turned on me the moment I started growing. He's got to be buying subscribers. And they would tell anybody that would listen that. And they had influence, so people believed them. And there was a lot of sour taste in my mouth for them two for a long time. And it just goes to show that consistency and kind of, separate and going your own ways and doing your own thing, time can change a lot of things, because here we are several years later. This was May of 2020 when this all took place. And I've now been in George Atkinson's home in Scotland. He's flown to Florida and went to the Royal Rumble with me in January. Heartfelt apologies. Back in November, before I even hit 100K, I had an icebreaker conversation of Ashton reaching out to me to congratulate me ahead of time, which I was super skeptical at first. Because I told him, I was like, man, for the longest time, it was not going to be good if we saw each other. That's the kind of beef we had. Next thing you know, we're on the phone talking cars, talking fragrance, talking the community, and, the way the audience looks at him and me and so on, and totally different relationship now. So it just goes to show that any beefs that do come along with this are genuinely and generally petty and for nothing and are in the moment. And when you just give them a little bit of time, they amount to nothing anyway. And it's like, oh, there was really no reason for us to be mad at each other in the first place. I'm sorry, and everybody's good. I've never said all of this publicly. I've hinted at it and talked about it a little bit. Me and Atkinson talked about it in the live stream. But as far as me and Ashton thing, I hope you don't get mad at me for saying it, but that's what it was for a long time. It's just what it is. It was a bad opinion in the moment that was convinced of, and I understood their stance. They came from a defending the community standpoint, like how dare him buy subscribers was the thought, even though it wasn't reality. And the only thing I could do was prove over time that I'm just consistent, and it's just a thing for me, I guess, long term. And that opinion changed over time for them, because that was literally all it could do, because they couldn't prove that I was. I couldn't prove that I wasn't, because that's not something that you can prove, right? Mm-hmm. So here you get it. There's some scoop for you guys here on the live stream. EQ, a nice exclusive for you. So shout out to George Atkinson.
I'm only gonna do two more questions because my camera ain't used to this longevity. it's like a smash section. My camera get in and get out. No long stroke pause. Favorite Raja fragrance. I'm only gonna have two more because these are super chats, so I want to get to them. Favorite, and if people want more questions, they gotta tune in, and we just gotta build outside of this. Favorite Raja fragrance. Guys, if you want to go, Big Beard, you're up.
Yeah, I'm a hold my judgment on the.
Okay, no problem. Respect that. Bowtie, favorite Raja.
Listen, man, most of these houses you guys asked about, I always have two that I go back and forth. I vacillate back and forth between two fragrances. And for the House of Roja, it is Creation E and Diaghilev. I'm very consistent with that. And I honestly don't know. It's just like sometimes I may be more into one than the other, and then I smell the other and I'm like, nah, this is number one. So I go back and forth between those two. I really can't decide which one I like better. So I would have to say it's a tie between those two.
You know what, EQ? Let me circle back. Hold on.
I'm coming back to you.
All right, let me circle back, because I feel like by me saying what I just said, it's going to be taken the wrong way. All right. Mm-hmm. Out of the ones I have, I'm gonna go with the vetiver. I really like the vetiver cologne. Vetiver cologne. I like it a lot. All right. I think some of the other things that we started off and talked in this chat about earlier is why I'm gonna reserve the judgment. But I like what they're doing. I respect what they're doing. I just think needs to be some other things going on over there.
Okay. I mean, we can hit on another lot. We say that for another because we 3 hours. They don't get that. Ross, and then I think yours and mine gonna be the same. I'm pretty sure it's gonna be the same. I watched you enough to know it's gonna be the same. Anybody who watches you, but go ahead. You go ahead and say
the only 10 I've ever given an individual fragrance in a review. Isola Blue is just so hyper versatile for me. But I mean, you can insert Oligarch Parfum, you can insert Oligarch EP, any of the 3 versions of that scent for me. 10, the only 10 I've ever given. But it's still a toss-up. I'm like Darian, where I could go back and forth, where one day it might be Burlington 1819 is just that impressive. So no, it's the one, even though it was a 9.5. Like, you can't take the rating solely to heart, people. It's an in-the-moment thing, because one day you're vibing with one more than the other. The next day it's reversed. But it would be those, either that Oligarchy Solar Blue scent profile, pick one of the 3, or Burlington 1819, because I truly believe the way that nuances, it makes it such a masterpiece. For a citrus musk, it's just so interesting to me.
I like that one too.
Yeah, Sola is gonna be mine, and the reason I didn't put my camera on because it, did its thing, and I'm just gonna go to it. This is gonna be the last question, because it's a super chat, and then we gonna go and get up out of here. We got things to do, right? Big Beard, let me see. This is a great question. I like ending on this question. Where do you see the fragrance community in 5 years, and what direction is it going? Great question.
Yeah, I think that's a great question too. Personally, I think it's going to continue to grow, and I think it's going to continue to grow at a rapid rate. You got some creators who are getting up there. Curly doing her thing, Ashton's doing his thing. Jeremy has had his moment for a while. But you got some of the newer guys that are coming in from like that TikTok space as well, that have a different niche that will kind of appeal to, but I would say that maybe that 13 to 24-ish crowd that's going to kind of continue to make the love for fragrance advance. And I think the videos are becoming different, more creative. I'm trying to take different creative stance with it. So I think it'll continue to grow and then be bigger, but I think you'll see people who are probably big in other spaces come into the fragrance world, because there's ample opportunity to grow and develop partnerships with major brands for the bag. So I think that you'll see that. But the direction, I think you'll have the purists that you have today. You'll have the people who are in for the compliment factor, like myself, and then you'll have people just trying to be creative with it. So I don't think that portion of it will change. You'll have those 3 spaces, but you'll also have this rapid growth, in my personal opinion.
Darian, what you got?
I mean, I think obviously it's going to continue to grow. I mean, when we started talking about fragrances, I don't know exactly how many people were doing it, but obviously at this point, that number has probably quadrupled to this point, and I think we'll continue to see that same type of growth as we move forward. Definitely. I mean, obviously, when the pandemic hit, I think, not only the fragrance community in this segment of YouTube, but YouTube had a enormous amount of growth, because you had now the celebrities, they couldn't go do their movies and they couldn't do their shows. So where did they turn to make some money? They turned to YouTube. And I think that's really when things started to change. And honestly, people will start to look or be labeled more as influencers, because more advertising money came to YouTube during that time. So I think we're going to see more growth in regards to YouTube, in regards to to advertisement and advertisement money, and of course just the number of people overall that are talking about fragrances and have an interest, a vested interest in fragrances, is going to continue to grow. So I'm pretty sure we're going to continue on that same trend that we've been on for the last couple of years.
Ross, you got anything to add?
No, they pretty much touched on it. I couldn't agree more. I think we're still in the infancy of where this is going long term. I really do, because more and more people, more casuals are starting to treat this more as a hobby niche. It's more hobbyists coming into this space, or turning into hobbyists as they come into this space. Next thing you know, they want to try all these different things. They're buying these different fragrances. They're going fragrance sniffing at perfumeries or even just a Macy's and Neiman Marcus. And it's a thing to do on their day off on the weekend. You know, we're getting more and more people that are starting to look at it as a hobby and an extension of themselves more than just that one cologne that they wear every day. So I think we're still infancy stages of that. I think 5 years, just like the last five, if you look at the last 5 years, how exponential the growth has been in viewership, ad revenue, newer brands coming into the space that are very into the, you know, very niche and targeted around the internet community, and then people that want to create content across the multiple platforms. So if you look at that past 5 years, I think we're going to double that over the next 5 years. I think it's just going to multiply more and more.
Absolutely. And to end it off, my thoughts is, as my brother Triple B said, the money is here. It's grown in, you know, the purists and dinosaurs. You might just have to get out the way. And I say this because I'm an older gentleman. As this has grown, I've seen 20-year-olds, kids in high school, young kids talking about fragrances. I'm not their audience. And if you want something to grow in anything, whether it be, I know Darian's in a fraternity, you get the younger guys, and they keep the traditions going, right?
Right.
The 16-year-old isn't going to watch me, or they shouldn't. I'm their father. Watch me by all means. I want the views, but I'm their father. Don't date 16-year-old girls. I'm not R. Kelly. Pause. So as I see kids this age wearing these designer fragrances and they're getting into it, and I see younger TikTokers and reviewers, that's more people getting into the audience. Is only going to grow. The money is here. Top 10s are going nowhere. Sex, panty droppers is never. Sex will always be sold. It's going to always be sold. Get over it or get out the way. It's what it is. It's been done my entire life. Sex has been sold to me. That's just what it is. It's what it's going to be. Get over it. And that's all I have to say about that for today. Again, I want to thank my guests for taking out time. We're hitting almost 3 hours. My camera's died like 3 times and it's about to go again. So before it does it again, I'm going to go ahead and leave y'all the way I greeted y'all. That's in the universal language of peace. And
the cipher. It's the new cipher.
Listen, man, thank y'all all for joining us. It's been love. We're going to definitely have to pick up on a part 2 or figure out what we're going to do. Peace.
Let's get it.